Swisher blunts and I ain't never coming down. Bitch, you ain't no Barbie. I see you work at Arby's. Never too supersized. Hurry up, I'm starving. Gnarly, radical. On the block, I'm magical. See me at your college campus, baggy full of Adderalls. Call me if you need a fix. Call me if you need a boost. See them other chicken heads, they don't ever leave the coop. I'm in the coop cruising. I got the stolen plates, serving all the fiends over there by the Golden Gate. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Fendi, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. The basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. The basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. I put that on my partner, I put that on my family. Oakland City represent, address me as your majesty. Yeah, you can kiss the ring, but you can never touch the crown. I spoke a million Swisher blunts and I ain't never coming down.
Do you agree that there's no such thing as racism, sexism, homophobism, Islamophobism, deadbeat dadism, white supremacism, and all the other isms? Destiny, that's a woman's name. You were raised by your daddy and mama. That makes you half man and half woman. You are a beta. You're not a real man, beta. I just have one question for ya, beta. There's just one thing I want to know. Destiny, do you love all people? Do you really love the blacks? Destiny, do you love black people? Why can't you just answer the question? Destiny, do you love all people?
System, the company store, the paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers, scum. They're on giant death factories, keeping babies alive and selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin and they run around screaming, we love Satan, we wanna eat babies. I have them on video. Hillary's in the creepy weird sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy weirdo woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. What the hell? That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur. Literal vampire pot belly goblins are hobbling round coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil and I feel it go. I self-centered crap. We don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna stab your daughter at the mall. We're gonna stab your wife, your son. We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good, oh, they're so sweet.
I was watching Fox News as I worked out this morning.
Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Just watching my algorithms get crushed. I guess I did something to piss off the Instagram gods, so hopefully you're seeing this stuff anyway. We'll do what we can.
This is my message to the Instagram gods, crushing Don Jr.'s algorithm. Yeah, you've been caught. You think this actual 10-second clip of him attempting to face the camera toward him is worth only 250,000 views? How dare you? How dare you? I keep pictures of Don Jr. above my bed, and now every night I fall asleep with him in my head. I dream he takes me to the skate park and teaches me how to ride. I dream he let me do the monkey bars while holding on to my silent teeth. And fell off my skateboard and he gave me a bandage. I dreamed I was hungry and he made me a sandwich. I dreamed we stayed up all night learning TikTok dances with Ron DeSantis. I dreamed we hunted Hunter Biden and shoved him in a locker. Asked him how it felt to just be known for his famous father. Isn't it pathetic? Oh, isn't it a shame to have no remnant of identity outside your father's name? When you look down at your hands, uncalloused and cold, can't you see all that you hold has been handed to you? And does that make you feel small, Hunter? Do you ever look back at your life and sob? 38 years in your younger sister's shadow, crying, Daddy, please love me. Daddy, please see me. Dad, won't you love me? Dad, can't you see me? Daddy, please love me. Daddy, please see me. Dad, won't you love me? Dad, can't you see me? We pulled him out of the locker and we gave him a swirly. My alarm went off and then I voted early, so should you.
Whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. I said certified freak. 7 days a week. Wet ass P word. Make that pull-out game weak. Yeah, you effin' with some wet ass P word. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass P word. Give me everything you've got for this wet ass P word. Beat it up, N-word, catch a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Put this P word right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top, I wanna ride. I do a kegel while it's inside. Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes. This P word is wet, come take a dive. And continue along these lines. And it gets significantly more vulgar. Like, a lot more vulgar.
I keep that thing on me. God damn it, Bobby. They see me selling propane and now they tryna copy. Pretend to be broke, but I got hella cash. If you use charcoal, I'ma kick your ass. Made this money from propane, bitch. I feel like Pablo Escobar, but I don't sell cocaine, bitch. Shot that fella cause he didn't make his payments. Fuck with me, I keep a rocket launcher in my basement. Made this money from propane, bitch. I feel like Pablo Escobar, but I don't sell cocaine, bitch. Shot that fella cause he didn't make his payments. Fuck Fuck with me, I keep a rocket launcher in my basement. Oh man, goddamn, I caught Bobby jacking off. Syrup ain't no cough. Big Hank, break the law. Lady Bird, that's my dog. Peggy got that wet, I'll flip you like a tech deck. Yeah, I run my set, I'm running up them checks. If you using charcoal, that's a red dot at your head. Propane till I'm dead, bitch, I'm off the meds. We be smoking loud, and you smoking on mid. Me and Dale getting lit, and I'm running from the feds. Made this money from propane, bitch. I feel like Pablo Escobar, but I don't sell cocaine, bitch. Shot that fella cause he didn't make his payments. Fuck with me, I keep a rocket launcher in my basement. Made this money from propane, bitch. I feel like Pablo Escobar, but I don't sell cocaine, bitch. Shot that fella cause he didn't make his payments. Fuck with me, I keep a rocket launcher in my basement.
I love the hand kill vibes. Gotta make your food with propane, everybody. Come on, you know. How you doing? Welcome to the Be Weird broadcast. It is a blue sky in Montreal. Looking lovely. I'm pretty excited for this weekend. Because I think there's gonna be a freedom rally here in Montreal. So I'm super excited for that. I'm hoping that I can maybe do an IRL stream, maybe? That could be a lot of fun. Yeah, that's something that's in the works. Oh my god, the music. That's something that's in the works. I want to try to like get that off the ground because honestly, I'm fascinated it's still going. What did you miss yesterday about the Johnny Depp stuff? There's so much footage. There's just so much. We actually covered him being asked questions by his lawyer and essentially like going through his whole childhood, like how his mother was abusive and cruel, how his father was shy and demure and just essentially gave up on the family at a certain point, and Johnny Depp defined himself as a parent in opposition to her, to his mother, and like you're like, where are you going with this? And eventually after like an hour we learn like, okay, he says at some point like, I realized I was dating my mother. And you're like, okay, that makes a lot of sense right now. Oh yeah, you think your mom's like cruel and abusive, and you think c'est pas bon là, c'est pas bon. So we're gonna get into it. What I want to find out about is there's like some of the pretty damning evidence against Amber Heard that's circulated publicly that my memory's still a bit foggy on, apparently was put out in court. So we're gonna check that out. There's gonna be some from what I understand, some, what do you call it when you have to like answer questions from a lawyer on the other side, like cross examination. So I think it's gonna be a bit spicy. And then tomorrow we'll probably cover this again in the morning, just because there's so much footage to catch up on. And I'll probably head out to a beautiful park and, you know, maybe cover some. I'm thinking I might do it like try to pretend I'm one of them. You know, I might write a poem. You know. This poem is about freedom. Freedom is precious. It's contagious. Everybody needs to hold the line for freedom. And remember, the line is an idea, everybody, and the idea is freedom. I think that's the idea. I think that's the plan. Yeah, what else happened? It's so good. I can't believe that's just like an organic thing we saw. I think we're like one of the few streamers that's actually on that vibe. There's I guess I haven't done my homework. I know there's a few others, like maybe some right-wingers on Twitch that are following this story really closely. But honestly, like, I think I missed on it. I think I've like, or a lot of people are missing on it, I should say. It's a really great story. I can't believe it's still going. Yeah. There's also a really good show yesterday I had never heard of called G4 TV. Has anybody heard of that? G4 TV, they had like this really zany and crazy like show, like Attack of the Show, where the people playing in it also have to answer questions about what they're doing in the show and what they've said, like memory questions and stuff. It's really bizarre. So yeah, G4 TV, that was super interesting. You want some good stuff. Okay, so let's get into it, everybody. We got a bunch of testimony. We're gonna listen to Johnny Depp. It's gonna be interesting, and yeah, let's blast off, everybody. Let's go. Gotta love the Nintendo music. Oh my god, so good. Okay, fast forward this a bit. Now I've had to put this on like 1.5, 2x. Yeah, so if it's not like fast enough, or if it's too fast, you know, just let me know. It's pretty quiet so far. Just getting set up, standing for the judge.
Yes, sir. Throwing things at.
All right, we're gonna get right to it.
All right. Cross-examination.
Cross-examination. So yeah, this will be spicy. And this was, I believe, yesterday. And I think I'll probably speed it up a little bit. Put it on 1.5.
Morning, Mr. Depp.
Morning, Mr. Rodenbaugh.
Yes, 2 days ago, when you first took the stand, you discussed your upbringing and some of the
Spicy, because there's going to be like some intense intense questions, and he's going to have to try to keep his cool, even if the questions are spicy.
abuse that you suffered at the hands of your mother. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
And you testified how she abused you physically, right?
Yes, sir.
Throwing things at you, hitting you.
Yeah, there was quite a, very various forms of physical abuse.
And she abused you verbally by insulting you and your siblings, right?
Yes, she did.
And you testified that sometimes that verbal abuse, that emotional abuse, was worse than the beatings, right? Do you remember that?
As a child, it has more of an opportunity to plant itself in your head.
Sure.
Yes.
So you'd agree that abuse can take many forms. It can be physical, it can be verbal, it can be emotional, right?
Indeed.
And you testified that your dad wasn't abusive, but that you saw him punch walls when he was in an argument with your mother sometimes, right?
Excuse me. I witnessed my father, the only reaction that would be called a physical reaction from the abuse he was very stoically taking from my mother. I saw him maybe twice, 3 times punch a wall. Once, as I said, once he punched the corner of the wall, and I watched his hand basically shatter.
Yeah. It's like,
Right.
like a full
Mr. Depp,
concrete
your
wall or something.
Walls weren't the only thing that your father punched, were they? In fact, once he punched you in the face and knocked you down, didn't he?
Yes, when I was 15 years old, this was just before I'd dropped out of high school. One morning, yes, in my mind, I was done with school, so he had asked me to, I believe it was something, he asked me to take the dog for a walk or something, or take out the garbage, something menial, something strange, and I just said, no. And he just gave me a quick shot.
Nice.
Just
Just punching the kid.
And
Jesus.
It rattled my head, it rattled the cage, and
Sure.
birds
Yeah,
and
no,
stuff.
no
Sure.
doubt.
So the jury hadn't heard about that before. When he punched you in the face, it actually knocked you to the ground. And then when you got up, you were all too happy to take care of what he wanted you to take care of, right?
I was excited to take care of it at that
Right.
point.
And yesterday, I believe that you testified, why would you hit someone to make them agree with you? It doesn't work. You gave that testimony yesterday, didn't you?
Yes.
Now, you try to conduct yourself as a gentleman, right?
Yes, sir.
And you think that you live up to the standards of a Southern gentleman, right?
It's like such
That was essentially,
a crazy.
when you have deep roots
Shift.
in the South, in Kentucky and such, it's not just your parents, your father, your mother, it's your grandparents, it's your uncles, it's your aunts, it's this, it's that. It's yes, raised to be a Southern gentleman. That is to say, when chivalry was still alive and allowed.
Right. And you think you live up to the
Allowed.
standards of a Southern gentleman, correct?
Weird.
I believe I do. I certainly have done my best all my life.
Chivalry is still allowed. I'm pretty sure you can still be a knight in shining armor to people, and some people like that.
Paul Bettany's a good friend that you've done drugs with, right?
Strange question. Paul Bettany is a good friend.
Okay.
Yes.
You've done drugs with him.
Yes, I have.
Cocaine, right?
Cocaine, yes.
Alcohol.
Alcohol, yes.
Pills, including Xanax and Adderall, right?
That I'm not so sure of.
Okay.
It's all a blur, maybe.
Where's he going?
So like, where's he going with this? Like,
I
with
just
this,
want to discuss one thing with you.
with this
Okay.
line of questioning. I think he's gonna approach the bench. Yeah, they're approaching the bench. Just a quick little discussion, maybe.
Thank you.
I think we covered a bit of this
Yes.
yesterday.
You were,
Myself, it felt like a lot.
okay, well,
Okay, here we go.
I wouldn't be able to judge that myself. It felt like a lot.
okay, well, let's take a look at some of it. If you can turn to page 45, please, in front of you. It's page 12 of the document. There's 4 transcript
I see
pages.
page 12 of the document, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is why people don't like lawyers. They're like, but don't you remember like 6 years ago you said
Yes, sir.
this?
And
12 of the document, you say?
yes, in the lower left
I
corner,
did say
there's
that.
a page 45. Do you see
On
that?
page 45. Shit,
Yes,
you
sir.
got me.
Okay. And you see that on the bottom of that page, there's a discussion of Paul Bettany and the drugs that you did together. And there was a question. The question is, any sort of pills? And your answer is yes. There could have been Xanax, or if he asked for Xanax or Adderall, whatever, I would, of course, give it to him.
Right.
Question. So you would supply Paul Bettany with whatever medication or controlled drugs he asked for. Is that right? Answer. If he was feeling anxious or if he was feeling unpleasant, I would give him what he asked for. Question. Would you give him a Xanax? Answer. Yes. Did I read that right?
You certainly did, yes, sir.
And you shared, the two of you shared an enjoyment of controlled drugs or alcohol at that time, right?
An enjoyment.
The two of us were making a film together.
With respect, sir, that wasn't my question. My question was the two of you shared an enjoyment of controlled drugs and alcohol at that time. Yes or no?
At times.
Yeah, we went to parties where everyone was enjoying the drugs that were available. Yes. Like, how do you not? Isn't that what drugs are for? To be in? It's such a weird phrase.
Miss Heard was quite adamant that you didn't drink anymore and that you should stop using recreational drugs, right?
Oh, yes.
And she didn't like it when you were high on drugs or drunk on alcohol, right?
She didn't like it when it was her perception that I was high on drugs. Her perception is quite different than the truth.
And that's what we're after, is the truth. Let's turn to, can you pull up Exhibit 178, please, Michelle?
Is that defendants 178 or?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm sorry, I just want to make sure.
Oh.
And in the testimony yesterday, like Johnny Depp went on about how, like, he thought it was kind of hypocritical that she was asking him to be sober, but not making much of an effort herself to tamp down on her $1,000 wine. We enjoyed. She was drinking 2 of these bottles of wine she had taken a liking to, and they're $1,000 each, like 800 USD. Like, woo!
Mr. Depp,
Objection, Your Honor. Can we approach, please?
Okay, they're just gonna approach. I think there'll be some more stuff going live later today at 10. I'll just check up on that. For now, it helps to be able to scrub through, skip to the content.
Mr. Depp, this is a text message exchange that you had with Paul Bettany on June 11th, 2013, correct?
Yes, correct.
Your Honor, permission to move for admission of redacted Defendant's Exhibit 178 and permission to publish, please.
We based off of Your Honor's ruling.
All right.
That's fine.
178 with redactions.
With redactions.
Michelle, could you please blow up the first text at the top? In this text, Mr. Depp, you text Mr. Bettany, "Let's burn Amber," 3 exclamation points, right? You see that?
I do see that.
And at this time, June 11, 2013, Amber is your girlfriend, or perhaps even your fiance at this point, correct?
Girlfriend,
Perhaps.
Yep.
for sure.
And you didn't stop when you said, "Let's burn Amber." Because the next text down, you can move down,
Like
blow up the next
burn
text,
her?
please, Michelle.
Toto
You say-
Rena. Who's Toto Rena? Also, hey, how's it going? How's it going? Welcome to the stream.
"Let's drown her before we burn her," 3 exclamation points. Did I read that right?
Let's drown her before.
Yes, it's referring to the
and you
text
didn't-
prior to.
You didn't
from Mr.
stop when you
Bettany.
said, "Let's drown her before we burn her." After that, you made another comment, and I'd like to apologize to the court and to the jury for some of the language that I'm going to have to use today, but unfortunately,
He's gotta use it. He has
you're going
to
to see a lot of documents with language like this. After you said, let's drown her before we burn her, Mr. Depp, you said, I will fuck her burnt corpse afterwards to make sure she is dead. That's what you said that you would do.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I think we found the spice.
After you burned her and after you drowned her. Did I read that right?
You certainly did, yes.
And you wrote that about the woman who would later become your wife.
Yes, I did.
Can you pull up Exhibit 245, please?
Yeah, we don't know what's happened between these two people.
Your Honor, there's been no objection to this exhibit, and so I move for
Yet.
its admission and ask for permission to publish to the jury.
We'll give them a moment to.
That came out of fucking left field. I don't even know how to...
Your Honor, we have no objection to the portions that have Mr. Depp's text messages, but at the
Scrub for
bottom portion, there is some from his daughter that we would ask be redacted.
The last two,
And, Your Honor, that's okay, but there was no objection to this
I
on the
understand, but-
exhibit list.
they don't appear to be relevant, which,
That's fine. We're happy to redact those.
Okay, yeah. Probably redact the daughter's texts. Like, what the fuck? It's a pretty easy ask.
so 245 in evidence with the redactions.
Yes, Your
Yes,
Honor.
Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Depp, the top text message, we're going to focus on a couple of these, but the top text message is a text from you to Paul Bettany on May 30th, 2014, correct? I need to scroll over, Michelle.
Can I close caption this so I can skip over the...
May 30th, 2014, yes.
And you recall that you testified yesterday about the flight that you took from Boston to Los Angeles on May 24th, 2014, right?
Yes.
Remember that? Okay.
Yes, I did.
And you testified yesterday that you didn't have any drinks before that flight, or maybe you had a glass of champagne or something. Remember giving that testimony?
Yes, I believe I said I had a
half
glass of
glass?
champagne on the...
Coffee? Yeah, get your coffee. Hydration check. We're getting into it. It's starting to get very spicy.
on the plane.
Right. So in this text, if you could blow up,
Switching to
Michelle,
water.
please, that top text. On May 30th, 2014, you texted
Nice.
Mr. Bettany, just a little bit smaller. You texted Mr. Bettany, I'm going to properly stop the booze thing, darling. Drank all night before I picked Amber up to fly to LA this past Sunday. Ugly, mate. No food for days. Powders. Half a bottle of whiskey. 1,000 Red Bull and vodkas. Pills. 2 bottles of champers on plane. And what do you get? An angry aggro engine in a fucking blackout. Screaming obscenities and insulting any fuck who got near.
Wait, what?
I'm done. I'm admittedly too fucked in the head to spray my rage at the one I love.
Whoa.
Read that again. I'm admittedly too fucked in the head to spray my rage at the one I love.
To
For little reason as well. I'm too old to be that guy, but pills are fine. Did I read that right?
Yes, you did.
And when you said pills are
Whoa.
fine, this was when you were just starting treatment with Dr. Kipper to try to get off of the pills that you testified about yesterday, right?
This is when I was still on the roxicodone. It was before the detox on the island, yes.
Right, and you testified that when you were in Boston filming Black Mass, which you flew from Boston to LA, that you had just retained Dr. Kipper to help you try to combat that pill problem, right?
Yes.
Could you go 2 texts down, please, Michelle?
Wait, is he trying to nail him for like being a drug addict
this is
when he admits he was a drug addict? Like, I'm confused.
Text that you sent on June 8th, 2014, just scroll over, to
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Patty Smith. You see that?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And in this text, I won't read all of it, but you say this. I'm going to just read the first paragraph. My darling Patty Lee, I miss you and worship you, and there's nothing wrong between us. Never, ever could that happen. I've just been so beyond busy with film here in Boston and then back to LA for kiddies. When I was in NYC, they were brief visits and fucked and charged by horrific fights with Amber. I fucked up and drank and got shitty.
Ooh.
Was so disappointed in myself. Actually, almost walked to your place at about 3:30 a.m. the last time I was there, unable to stop he tears. Did I read that right?
You did.
Imagine having like all your worst moments with your ex just put out in public court. Oh my goodness.
Michelle, can you please take that down and let's pull up Exhibit 325.
It's got to be tough to like
Please.
remain gray, to stay gray.
Mr. Depp, is this a text message exchange that you had with Miss Heard on December 18th, 2014?
I see that.
Your Honor, I would move for admission of this exhibit and ask for permission to publish.
All right, any objection?
May I have a look at the...
Of course.
Your Honor, may we approach real quick?
Okay, sure.
All right, let's skip ahead.
Court. and Mr. Depp's counsel, and Mr. Depp can see it all.
I would get drunk too if I had to deal with her. Man, people have got some real harsh opinions. I must not know.
Sorry, Your Honor, we have no
enough.
objection with to the unredacted version.
Okay, so this version that we're seeing right now, correct? Just make sure. Yes. Okay, all right, 325 evidence.
Excuse me, sorry, I just want to make clear, we haven't seen the other pages, but this page we have no
This
objection
is
to.
the only page?
I believe this is the only page to the document, Your Honor, right?
325 is only one page?
Just one page.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
I mean, it sounded like he had a pretty intense addiction.
And
like
Michelle, if you can blow
layers,
up the large text at the top of the page.
layers of addiction. It's one thing to have some beer every night. It's another thing to be going on benders on the reg.
Mr. Depp, on December 18th, 2014, you sent this text to Ms. Heard, and I'm going to read it. And it says, "It's away. I've let it go. Went too far. We/I tend to do that. I always regret it when I jump, or worse, when you jump. I don't want to be conditioned to continue that behavior. Therefore, I'll put in heavy work with Shrank. I'm sorry for being less, for your disappointment in me, for my behavior. I'm a fucking savage. Gotta lose that. Gonna lose that. The devil is all around, right? I wish I were able to bring even just a glimmer of a smile to the pretty face of my most gorgeous of dreams and darkest nightmares. I love you far too much for you and I to be these heinous, slinging insults like we do/did.
Wow.
It is not anything that I am particularly proud of to have participated in, and I regret giving it life. Because, motherfucker, how when we fight, little girl, how do we end up on the very edge of the precipice? And why? Wish I knew.
Yo.
Goddamn. And know that you are right. I am well aware that I should have been bigger than the moment. And that it will never again manifest in negative experiences. It can be done. What a killer concept to visualize. Wish you were in this lunatic's proximity. Be careful out there. I adore you."
This was like a slam poem read by a business major. It was such a tortured reading of an already tortured text. Oh my god.
Did I read that right?
You did.
Read it poorly
Take that down,
though.
Michelle.
Where was the life and the
Please
pizzazz?
pull up Exhibit 153.
Gotta believe in the words. Reimagine where he was when he wrote it. Okay, skipping ahead.
And Your Honor, we have a redacted version of this, but we'll put up the fully unredacted.
But I also don't know what this proves or shows, right? Like it's just him admitting that he's gonna try to do better. Like I guess they're painting this picture of him as not in control of his addictions, which is what's gonna justify whatever Amber has allegedly done.
Of course.
Your Honor, this has phone numbers in it, so.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Understood.
Just so you can see it first.
Your Honor, we don't want to dox people. It's got their social security numbers in there.
I have the photo, you don't take pictures of what's on your screen, so, okay, just making sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Depp,
His
I'd
text
like
to her sounds so
turn your attention
defeated.
to the top 3 text messages on this page. These are text.
He's trying to fix, and it sounds like she was gaslighting him. I mean, in his testimony earlier, he definitely was describing gaslighting. He was absolutely describing that, like, to a T.
Messages that you sent on January 17th, 2013.
On the other hand, like, it's, you know, if you're deeply invested in someone and they're very chaotic, like, that's also a tough situation. I don't know where this goes, though. Like, I don't know, man. I want to reserve my judgment as long as possible.
See that?
So I'm
me a
just reading
game.
the page.
Right. And the way these text messages are produced, sometimes there's big date skips and they're kind of jumbled in, so they're not all on the same chain.
No,
so
of course.
what I'm asking you about is just the top 3.
Certainly.
And those are texts that you wrote on January 17th, 2013, correct?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, permission to publish just those top 3 texts with identifiers and the others redacted, and move for admission of that redacted exhibit.
As long as it's not this version, that's fine. The
We'll
version
put up on the screen what I propose to admit as an
Let me
exhibit.
see what you're gonna put up on the screen
Okay.
first.
Okay. Man, like all your text messages, all those emails, I'm gonna switch to Signal.
we have no objection to this version, Your Honor.
All right, as redacted.
Only ever use Signal. Encrypted messaging app. It's free.
Michelle, can you blow up the text boxes, please? On January 17th, 2013, Mr. Depp, you texted the following. For the idiot cow, 3 exclamation points. Next text. Will do. I'll smack the ugly cunt around before I let her in. Don't worry.
Woo! Whoa.
Apologies again to the court
Whoa. Strong language there.
and the jury for this language. And then you close by saying, did that worthless hooker arrive?
Man, I don't think.
Did I read that right?
Man, damn.
You did, sir.
You can take that down, please.
Lawyers got some potty mouths.
We talked a little bit about the term monster yesterday, correct?
Yes, I've heard that word quite a lot. Yes.
Yeah, and you testified yesterday that you used that term to placate Amber, right? And I believe that you testified that it was the word that she clung to describe what was in her mind, not yours. I wrote down what you said. You remember giving that testimony?
The monster, more than anything, was Ms. Heard's way of referencing whether she perceived that I was on substances or taking substances. So
If you marry someone like Johnny Depp, you kind of know what you'll be getting. He's very upfront with the consumption of drugs and alcohol. Yeah, I mean, I guess.
the word monster became, it represented for her the consumption of alcohol or any other substances, whether it was actually happening or not, her perception. And so monster became her click word,
Right.
if you will.
But actually, the term monster to describe yourself came from you.
Well, initially,
Well, actually, you're the one who first used it. Like, really? Really? This is what we're doing? Such a weird line of questioning.
started out with demons. She started out with saying that I have demons. And then when monster was put into a conversation, which, again, I have a particular way of using words, vocabulary in my vernacular. So monster was something that which she stuck with, tried and true. I mean, she just stayed with that.
Right, but
you'd have to
it
accept
came from you. The term
unless
came
you
from
wanted
you.
to argue.
Who cares?
term came from you, didn't it?
Who cares? what does that matter?
It's possible. It's probable that I
Possible,
might
sure.
have used that word, certainly.
Okay.
Right, and in 2012, in fact, Elton John was one of your friends who was trying to help you get sober, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you sent him a message in 2012 where you thanked him for his help, and you said, quote, I would have been swallowed up by the monster were it not for you. That is a simple fact. Isn't
Yes.
that true?
Yes. Again, the monster referring to alcohol
drug
and
addiction.
substances.
Correct. And you didn't send that message to Ms. Heard. You sent that to Elton John. I would have been swallowed up by the monster were it not for you.
Right.
Elton,
But
Elton,
that's different than being a monster, right?
Can you pull up his
was,
wait, please?
was a dear friend who has been sober for 40 years, 30 years. So
Wow.
he was,
Sponsor?
we'd had discussions, and he wanted me to get clean, sober. So Elton actually sent a fellow called Charlie Dunnett, who worked with Elton for years and years. And has
Mr. Depp,
helped
I
Elton.
appreciate that. My only question was just to confirm that you had sent that message to Elton John. nothing else.
So I'll just stop talking.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I want to be
Certainly,
respectful of the
not a
court's
problem,
time
Mr.
and the jury's
Robinson.
time.
Sorry?
This is weird and petty already. Like, I just want to make sure we're not wasting the court's time. We have clarified. You first used the term monster. Aha, gotcha.
I just said I want to be respectful of the court's time and the
What's
jury's
this
time. And I
about?
trust that you do too. So,
I don't feel like I'm wasting anyone's time, sir.
could you pull up Exhibit 408, please?
Jesus.
Mr. Depp, I'd like to turn your attention to the bottom text on this page. And can you confirm that this is a text message that you sent on April 9th, 2015, while you were married to Amber, to your sister? Do you see that?
The last...
The last text on the one on the bottom.
Yes, I see that, yes.
Your Honor, I move for admission of 408 with all the identifiers redacted and everything except the last text redacted.
Just the last one?
Yes, Your Honor.
One text.
We object, Your Honor. If we could approach it just very quickly.
Oh, wow. They're going to object. That's crazy. This guy's just like pulling up all the text messages. Did you really use the word monster? So therefore, it's cool that she called you a monster, like repeatedly? I don't understand this.
To clarify, is sis in those texts, is that your sister, or it could be Amber's sister too, right? One or the other.
Sis, I was referring to Whitney.
Whitney, okay, so Amber's sister. Okay.
Yes, Amber's
Okay.
sister.
Yeah, exactly, Dan. Just like, okay. we've checked that box. We have confirmed. We've got confirmation on the origin of the word monster, everybody. And I think it's like quite different to call like the monster of drug addiction consuming you compared to saying I'm a
Your Honor, with
monster.
those redactions, I asked for permission, or
Like
to make exhibit 408.
essentializing
No
your
objection. Yes.
weakest,
All right, 408 with redactions.
being like not like you have a weak like some disease like alcoholism, or like you're struggling with drug addiction and you'll get out of it, but saying you're a monster, essentializing you, making you one with the drug addiction, like that's something that's like, I don't know, that seems something different, right? Like this guy did pull the correct source, but it sounds like Johnny was talking about something different completely. Like maybe he could still be saved, you know, or like a very much a salvation arc.
Mr. Depp, on April 9th, 2015,
Yes.
while you were married to Miss Heard, you texted someone named Sis, which may be her sister, you testified.
Yes.
You said, I'm all right. I, ... though I never, ever want to lay eyes on that filthy whore, Amber A. Most embarrassing.
Oh my god.
Did I read that right?
To her
Yes.
sister?
And when you called Amber that filthy whore, she was your wife at the time, correct?
Yes, sir.
Let's pull up exhibit
Oh my
427.
god, they are leaning in so hard. Like, I mean, he sent it to her sister? Really? Buddy, what? Is that because the sister's like, yeah, she's pretty intense,
Mr. Depp,
man.
I would like to,
Fuck.
I'd like to direct your attention.
Maybe he just has a Madonna whore complex. Sorry, it's awful. It's awful.
Okay.
Is there another? Let's see. I'd like to direct your attention to the fourth text up from the bottom. Chat number 1616. You see that?
Yes, I do.
And that's a text message exchange between you and Jerry Judge on April 26th,
Jerry
2015, just a couple of
Judge.
weeks after you referred to
Name.
Amber as a filthy whore. Do you see that?
Yes, I do, sir.
Your Honor, permission to I move for admission of this exhibit with the two text exchanges in that chat between him and Jerry Judge.
It's like literally going over all the mean
Show the
things
redacted,
he called her.
Can we do that?
Okay, sure. It's just those two, Michelle?
This is a very odd. I don't know what the strategy is here yet. I'm kind of in suspense. What's the prosecution trying to do? Exactly. I get the part like talking about drug abuse and making him seem like he doesn't have control, but I don't understand this text message arc.
Any
Any objections?
427?
No objection.
With
Your Honor.
redactions? Okay,
No
427 with
objections.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, let's move on.
If you can just blow the text up, Michelle, at both of those. Mr. Depp, on April 26, 2015, Jerry Judge is your former security guy who passed away a couple years ago, right?
That's right.
Right.
He writes you and says, "Hi, boss. Just wanted to say if you and Amber need anything, just let me know. I will be there in 20 minutes. Johnny, it is lovely to see how you and Amber are so happy. The other day, watching the two of you sitting on the bench by the sea was fantastic. The two of you need happiness, and it is really great to see that. Love to
Yikes.
you and Amber. XOXO.
Yikes.
Jerry."
That's a
Did I read
really
that right?
that's like a really sweet message, but it does kind of have some subtext there. Does kind of imply things were not always all right.
And beneath that, you texted him back and you said, "Thank you, my dear Jerry. Very, very kind, mate. We've been perfect. All I had to do was send the monster away and lock him up. We've been happier than ever." All caps. Love you, brother.
Yeah. In that case, the monster being addiction still.
JD. Did I read that right?
You did, sir.
Michelle, could you please pull up Exhibit 445, defendants? And in the text that we just saw, when you used the word monster, that Miss Heard wasn't on that text message, was she?
No, that was between Jerry and myself.
Thank you.
Now everybody knows it. You know it. I know it. We don't know these people.
Mr. Depp, I'd like to direct your
Another
attention in
text
this
message.
message to the second text down, which is a text from you to Dr. Kipper, Dr. David Kipper, on June 28th, 2015.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yes, 26, 28 to 15 years.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of a redacted exhibit with that, simply that text. We're happy to redact the rest of it.
Is that text 139 or 137?
137, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
137.
No objection with the
All right,
proper
we'll
redactions.
Get those redactions before we publish, or did you want to publish this?
We'll make the redactions right now and then
Okay.
publish that.
Okay.
Thank you.
So many redactions.
All right, 445 as redacted.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, in evidence.
Thank you. And you sent this text on June 28th, 2015, and it said, you can blow up the text, Michelle, please?
7 years ago, you texted.
Thank you, my darling Kipper. All those technical abbreviations left me flummoxed and in the dark. Soon, soon, I must see you and just hang out. My deformed finger and I have no friends. By the way, Amber and I have been absolutely perfect for 3 fucking months solid. I've locked my monster child away in a cage deep within, and it has fucking worked. We're goddamn best friends now. Amazing. Big love to you, my
Is
brother.
it just me, or does that sound like repression? Like bottling up or something? Like bottling up behavior or something? Creating more and more temptation. And again, bottling the monster. Like he's separating it from himself, and they're trying to like essentialize. Like for him, it can still be he is bottling up the monster known as drug addiction up and put in the closet or whatever. And they're trying to make it seem like, I don't know what they're trying to make it seem like.
Did I read that right?
Yes, you did.
And Amber wasn't on that text when you told Dr. Kipper that you'd locked your monster child away. in a
Oh,
cage deep
oh,
within.
oh, it's to be like, look how often Johnny used this term. So, aha. Did you ever consider that Johnny also liked to use this term? Do you think of that? That's some 5-head shit.
No.
Can we pull up Exhibit 435, please, unredacted? It's just the bottom text that I'm going to direct your attention to, Mr. Depp. This is a text that you sent.
So I
to
think
Stephen.
like in terms of strategy, they're trying to like assassinate us. This is character assassination. They're trying to go after the character of Johnny Depp and make it seem like he's like a bad guy through and through. JD, I'm abiding by the rules she set out, so we good, bruh.
Deuters on May 14th, 2015, right?
The last one,
Yep.
May 14th.
And Stephen Deuters is your personal assistant, or was your
You
personal
said it
assistant
first
at
and
the
way
time
more
you were
often?
with Miss Hurt, right?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That's
Now he's
basically how this works.
The president of the European branch of Infinitum Nihil, right?
IN2, yes, sir.
Of infinitum
Move for admission of a redacted version of this document with just the bottom text, Your Honor.
No objection.
All right, if you could just redact it just to the bottom text.
Thank you, Judge.
And then 6 years ago, he said, I was
435 in evidence as redacted.
ninky pumpy poo poo.
And on May 14th, 2015, you blow out that text, Michelle, please. You texted Mr. Deuters, need to discuss the news helicopters hovering outside the house this morning. I'm ready to shoot a motherfucker. But don't worry, the monster is not involved. Correct?
I see that, yes.
And Miss Hurd wasn't on that text, was she?
No.
Let's pull up Exhibit 196, please.
Wow, this is like dozens of texts to prove the single point that he uses this word, the monster. But it can still be, like, I can still easily read it as
This on page 2.
the
please.
monster of drug addiction. So I'm not terribly convinced by this.
Are we on page 2?
The point they're trying to make?
Yeah. So it's, Mr. Depp, I'd like to direct your attention to line 24. You can see in that left-hand column there. And this is a text message from you to Stephen Deuters, your personal assistant at the time.
Deuters?
On October
My
31st,
dude.
2013. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Permission to publish, or move for admission, Your Honor, of just this page of the exhibit with just that text.
My dude,
With
Stephen
the phone numbers
Deuters.
redacted, we have no
Okay,
objection.
we could do those redactions, so it'd just be page 2 of Exhibit 196.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you ever going to enter any other pages of this exhibit into evidence?
I'd like to reserve the right to
Then we'll call
to
this
do that.
196A.
Okay, thank you.
This makes it easier for the record.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Lawyers are like
Permission
half
to publish, Your Honor.
All right,
librarians.
196A in evidence as redacted.
And in this text message from you to Mr. Deuters on October 31st, 2013, you write, thanks. She thinks that my Peruvian period has made me a monster and that I'm ruining the relationship. You see that?
Yes, I do, sir.
The Peruvian period is a reference to cocaine, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Ooh.
Sorry, you said yes it is?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Let's go to Exhibit 293, please.
He shouldn't be dealing with that cocaine. He should be dealing with that propane. Am I right? Say no to charcoal, everybody. This is a pro Hank Hill chat.
Mr. Depp, I'd like to direct your attention to the bottom text, which is a text from you to an unknown number on October 4th, 2014. Do you see that?
The last one.
Yes.
Yes, I see that.
Yes, sir. Your Honor, I'd move for the admission of modified Exhibit 293 with just that redacted version. And we may use other parts of it, so I'd ask it to be 293A or 1.
Okay. we can
Oh,
make
I
it.
wish you could just cut this
Consistent
stuff out.
with 293.
I forgot what you said.
No objection,
All
Your
right,
Honor.
Because I know what
293A,
happens
redactions
is like,
done.
like you don't get this stuff when you just watch the clips, but the clips are like a minute long, so you get the content, like the really juicy bits. And I know there's a couple that I'm trying not to watch because I'm hoping to come across it in the court. It comes across way harder when there's all this like boring tension that's built up, and then you like hit that explosive moment that gets clipped and sent around. It hits a lot differently when you sort of watch a lot of the procedural sitting and redacting and document handling. So I'm trying not to watch some of the stuff that's been going viral. It's hard though. Like actually trying to reserve my
All right, 293.
my judgment a little bit. It's hard.
There we go. All right. 293A in evidence with redactions.
Thank you, Your Honor. And in this text message on October 4th, 2014, you text someone, it's unclear who, you say, I'm going to, quite gracefully, glide into a massage of my broken back and neck. I shall exit in 1 hour, a monster. Shall we each swallow an E each, parentheses, or perhaps it's MDMA, at around 8 p.m., and go to dinner with a few of my wee team at a wonderful Peruvian spot. Let us enjoy this night, my brother. Let us reward ourselves for the hard work and misery of the heat that we push ourselves to conquer every goddamn day, the shatter. Did I read that right?
Ruh-roh.
You did.
And E here, that's a reference to ecstasy, correct?
It is.
Ruh-roh.
Can you take that down, Michelle?
That's not good.
You would agree that you found drugs and alcohol at an early stage in your life, right?
I've certainly, yes, I did.
And you testified a couple days ago that you had done just about every kind of drug there was by age 13 or 14, right?
15.
15. And you've
It's probably why he was cast in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
you found that drugs are the only way to numb your pain, right?
They've always been a medicine for me, yes, a numbing agent.
And you said yesterday that, in fact, I think you said you take drugs to numb the demons, right?
I don't know that I said to numb the demons, but well, if I did say demons, it is to numb
What does it
the
matter?
residual
These aren't real
pain that I
things.
carry from my youth.
Right. And one of your good friends that you've taken drugs with before is Marilyn Manson, right?
Yes, we've
Jeez,
taken
it's just outing
we
everybody.
drank together.
What other
we-
celebrities did you get high with?
We've had cocaine together maybe a couple of times.
Pills, right? With
Yeah.
Marilyn Manson?
I once gave Marilyn Manson a pill so that he would stop talking so much.
That's fucking
Sorry.
funny.
All right. I get it. You employ
Philosophizing.
a lot of people that work for you, right?
I employ a lot of people.
You employ a lot of people that serve various roles in your life, right?
Yes, yes.
And at least some of those people will do anything you ask, including some of them supplying controlled drugs to you, correct?
I would not characterize those people as doing anything I want or anything I said. They're
Yeah,
not the yes men that you'd like them to be.
That's a weird thing to say. So you got people who just obey all your orders, right? Oh, excuse me? Wait, what? Have you met people before? Have you had
Can you
interactions?
pick up your testimony from the UK trial
Ain't
and turn to
nothing for
page
free.
48, which is page 13 of the document, please.
So they mined some other trial that happened in Britain, or in the United Kingdom, I should say. And so they're using that to try to take shots at him. That's where they're getting their ammunition. I don't know much about that other trial, though. In UK?
Yes, sorry. Yes, I've got it.
You got it? Okay. And if you could please take a look at page 48, line 15.
Page 48, line 15.
You just testified that they're not yes men, right? That was the testimony you just gave, correct?
Yes.
Okay. On page 48, line 15 of your testimony in the UK, you were asked a question. They are people who will do what you ask. They will do anything you ask, including some of them supplying drugs to you, controlled drugs to you. Your answer was, there are people who work for me, work with me, who, yes, in the past, have been asked to provide whatever I have felt was necessary at the time. Question.
Who have
Well,
been
putting it
asked?
bluntly, if you wanted illegal drugs, controlled drugs, and you asked one of your staff, and I'm not going to name anybody particularly right now, that member of staff would provide you with those drugs if he could. Answer, at times, yes. Question, despite the fact that it was illegal? Answer, yes. Did I read that right?
He did.
Wait.
Can we pull up exhibit
So some of the
1085,
people
please?
he hired used to run drugs for that? if they could at certain times. That's pretty sussy. You've been working with someone. You're like, yeah, can you just go do a crime?
You've seen this picture before, Mr. Depp, right?
Yes, I have.
Go crime in that direction.
And this is a picture that was taken in.
Although, of course, you know, it would be better if drugs were legalized, so this wouldn't be a thing at all.
Miss Heard's former house or apartment on Orange Avenue after you two began dating, correct?
This line of
Yes,
questioning is so ineffective. You pay people that work for you and they're in your employ, right? Well, you can't like ask your employee to go do a crime. I don't think you can do that. It's a bit of a power imbalance, right? Like, I don't want to do the crime, boss. Okay, well then you're fired. You know, you see how that conversation goes, right? So this is they're trying to assassinate his character, right? So if you can paint him as a boss who is so consumed by his drug addiction, he's even willing to jeopardize his employees like legal, I don't know how you say it, he's willing to make them vulnerable legally, then yeah, that's not looking good too good there, Johnny. You know, damn, man, you must really have been a monster, you know, or at least so goes the argument.
So it's quite a composition. The composition of the photograph is very interesting.
I think that's something we can agree on. Your Honor, move for admission of Exhibit 1085 and ask for permission.
No
to publish.
objection, Your
All
Honor.
right, 1085, publish any notes.
This picture, you recall, Mr. Depp, was taken in or around March of 2013, after you had fallen off the wagon, right?
I'm sorry, what date?
March of 2013, I believe,
March
right?
2013.
Does that ring a bell?
If March 23rd, I had fallen off the wagon from when I was doing Lone Ranger, when Mr. Depp was with me when I was sober.
Okay.
But that was the whiskey that's on the table that was an average. Every day I would come home to her place and there would be a glass of whiskey waiting for me.
Yeah. And you would sometimes drink whiskey in the mornings too, right? During this time period. You know, I mean, isn't happy hour any time?
Wait.
And that cocaine, those white lines, those are cocaine. That's cocaine, right?
Yikes.
I would assume.
Yeah, and that's your cocaine that you kept in that box that says property of JD with the skull and crossbones, isn't it?
Well, the beautiful composition of the photograph would suggest that, certainly.
Yeah. You don't dispute that?
I don't see me in it.
No. But you don't dispute that you carried cocaine in that box that said property of JD? That was a special box that you carried cocaine in, wasn't it?
The box was a gift from someone. I can't say that I carried cocaine in it, no.
You can't say that you carried cocaine in that box?
No, but it looks like it would fit some cocaine. Cocaine is, in my experience, normally given in plastic bags. When you put it in a box like that, chances are very good you'll leave a trail of a long line of cocaine behind you walking down the street. So
why don't you go ahead and pull up your UK testimony, please? Let's look at page 202.
Oh no, they're gonna, oh no, oh jeez.
I see. Yeah, you're going by those things. Pardon me.
It's page 9 of the document.
This guy. We don't get to see the picture though, so we're kind of missing out. We don't actually see it, but it sounds like a party scene. Clearly, drugs are like everywhere.
I'm having trouble finding 20.
Are you saying page 9
Oh,
because there's no 2?
no, that's my fault. It's day 2, so I owe you another transcript. I'm sorry, my apologies.
Oh my God, this guy's got all the text messages.
We're moving into another day now.
Sheesh.
Your Honor,
And,
permission to approach?
Okay, yes, sir.
okay, so they're gonna approach the bench. We're skipping
Yes, I see it.
through.
Page 202.
Okay, he found it.
Yep.
He found it.
And on page 202, you were asked a question. We'll have to work out what that was at a later stage. Can you see in the front that there's a little box, about 2 inches by 2 inches, if we compare it to the size of the credit cards? Answer, yes. Property of JD with skull and crossbones on it. Yes, I do. That, I suggest, this is the question. That, I suggest, is your cocaine box. That is where you would keep your cocaine, a special box that you had. Answer, I do remember the box. Question, do you remember it now? Answer, yes. I did not remember the property of JD. Yes, that is a box. It was carrying cocaine in it. I would say
Okay.
I probably was then.
So he
See
at
that?
some point
Did I read that right?
Yes, you did.
put cocaine into the box, but that doesn't make it his cocaine box, does it? This is some like Theseus's ship, or some nonsense. Like, how many times do you have to put the cocaine into the box before it becomes your cocaine box? That's what I want to know. Was this his official?
And on the
cocaine
morning that
box?
this picture was taken, this was during the filming of a documentary about Keith Richards. You remember that?
I'm sorry, could you
This,
repeat that?
yeah, sure. This picture was taken while you were filming a documentary about Keith Richards, correct?
I'm sorry, the date again on this?
Do you remember that? I believe it was March 2013. You
That
should know
seems,
better
yes,
than I
that
do.
seems about
Okay. And you
9
see there's
years
a Keith
ago.
Richards CD, looks like above that cosmetic case.
perfectly placed, yes.
Yep. And you had an argument that morning in which you accused Amber of cheating on you. Do you remember that?
I believe Amber had an argument with me.
And you were using cocaine and drinking whiskey that morning, and as a result of that argument, you were late to the set of that documentary, correct?
Whoa.
In fact, I was not late to the documentary. Well, I was late, but I had called my crew because it was a day of filming performance it was Keith Richards, Tom
Okay.
Waits, and some other
Tom
very,
Waits.
talented musicians. The only thing that needed to be done in terms of performance was capture the performance. So
Right.
my
Presence.
I wasn't needed
Needed.
on
Yeah.
the set, so I could come in anytime
Whenever.
I wanted.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just said that you were late, though, correct?
Oh,
So
I
you
was
just
yes,
testified.
yes, yes.
All right.
And due to
Technically,
the argument, of course.
but really.
I'd like to shift gears a little bit now. Well, actually, let's not.
He's talking to somebody who pulls like millions of dollars, who can show, understands like what it takes to do the job, has clearly been a successful performer. And he's like, yeah, but you were late because of an argument, you know? Doesn't look good, you know? You got to be on time to work. What? What? So confused.
Michelle, could you please pull up Exhibit 152?
I'm waiting for the aha moment where the penny's gonna drop.
Mr. Depp, these are various texts that you sent and received to various people in 2012. Do you see that?
Yes, seems to go from July to September.
Right, right. And we'll take them kind of piece by piece, I guess. I guess the first thing I'd like to do is take a look at the entries 1628. So that's about halfway down the page. It's a text exchange, a text from you to Stephen Duders, your personal assistant at the time, and then a text from him back to you.
Objection, Your Honor.
Objection. Over what? Oh, they're approaching the bench. We'll skip ahead that. Now's my chance to take. If you're new to the stream, follow or subscribe. Like the thing. It tells the algorithms that I'm valuable and important and give free entertainment. Yeah, I think that's my pitch. That's my pitch, everybody. Oh, and retweet me on Twitter. That's always helpful, you know. Huh? If you're not following me on the Twitter, golly gee, you should. There's even a community on Discord that's slowly growing ever so slowly. God, I bet people hate pitches. They get pitches so often every day. You just have to do it though. As a creator, every time I watch other people do it, I'm like, man, how do you just promote your content so easily?
Agree with that.
All right, here we go.
152 with redactions and evidence.
Thank you, Your Honor. Appreciate your patience.
We good.
Mr. Depp, we're going to take a look at two text messages here. Or three
We
text
doubled our likes, everybody. Increased it by 100%.
messages. On August 4th, 2012, you exchanged a text message with Stephen Duders, one from you to him and one from him to you. Do you see that midway through the page?
Yes.
And, Michelle, can you blow those up, please?
And we lost half our viewers.
In those text messages, you
No, I'm just joking.
write to Mr. Duders, your personal assistant, "Yay, where is the little baggie you built in L.A.?" And he says, "Special baggie? I gave you can in 1480 kitchen. Not sure where it went after that. Thought I heard you say something along the lines of, I know what to do with it, exclamation point." Did I read that right?
You did, sir.
All right. Can you scroll down to the text on the bottom, please? This is a text, Mr. Depp, where you say, "I use marijuana a lot," 3 exclamation points. "I take pot." I read that right, correct?
Yes, you did.
And this is a text that you sent on September 11th, 2012. So just scroll over to the left, Michelle. This is a text that you sent to Brian Warner. Brian Warner's Marilyn Manson, right?
That's correct, sir.
Okay. Let's pull up Exhibit 145, please.
Oh, I didn't know his actual name. Okay, we'll skip ahead.
Mr. Depp, this is a series of text messages from you to and from various people in 2012, right?
Yes, sir.
And, Your Honor, the text messages that I'd like to ask the witness about are the first 2. and then the just those first two.
Okay.
We have no objection to the omission with proper redactions.
Okay, you redact just those first two?
And then move for the omission of that document as redacted.
Sure, as soon as we get redacted.
So far, so good.
You text him, the pill and the plant stuff keep me calm and detached. And he texts you back, I have lots of reefers, many reefers, and cookies, which are weird,
Nice.
but pot is funny, backwards gateway drug. You see that?
I do, sir.
Did I read that right?
You did.
Backwards gateway drug.
You can take that down, Michelle, please.
Wait, what's a backwards gateway drug? Is that a gateway drug that like helps you stop doing too many drugs? Because it's backwards?
And if you could please pull up
It's how you like stop being
Defendant's
an addict?
Exhibit 1089, 1089.
Reefer. Marijuana cigarettes.
Mr. Depp, I'd like to ask you about this photo. This is a photo of 4 pretty huge bags of marijuana, correct?
Yes, sir, that is a lot of marijuana.
A lot of marijuana. And the coffee cup that's right next to that, that's a coffee cup for your company, Infinitum Nile, right?
That's correct.
And the furniture, this is taken in one of your residences?
It's taken in the studio, the recording studio.
In the recording studio, okay.
Oh, nice.
Your Honor, move for the admission of Exhibit 1089, Defendant's Exhibit
It's
1089.
like
and admission of
this
public.
entire line of argument is like this man parties. This man parties hard. I'm so jealous. Wish I could party that hard.
So this picture of these 4 giant bags of pot, at least 4, was taken in your recording studio. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So what, he's got like 4
You
ounces?
can take that down, Michelle.
4 pounds?
Are you at a good break point, Mr. Rottenborn? Just-
Sure.
Maybe a full
Okay,
pound?
all right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's go ahead and take our morning recess of 15 minutes. So we just
Okay.
don't talk to anybody, don't do any
on
outside
to-
research, okay? Thank you,
On
ladies
to the
and gentlemen.
next.
Release.
On to the next video. We're looking for day 3, part 2. Oh, there it was. There it was. Day 3, part 2. Ah! What an awful sound. This cross-examination's going well. They have successfully painted Johnny Depp as an enjoyer of drugs and someone who has used the term monster to describe his addiction to narcotics. Really assassinating that character, I guess.
Mr. Depp, is this an email exchange you had with Bruce Witkin on June 6th, June 7th, 2013?
It's June 7th, 2013.
Okay. And if you scroll down to the bottom, that I'm not going to read it aloud, but that email address is your email address. Is that right?
I don't. Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. So this email is an email that you sent to Mr. Witkin on June 6th, 2013 at 7:05 a.m., the one that starts with seriously be woozy. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. And Bruce Witkin was a longtime friend of yours, right?
Yes, sir, quite a long time.
You met in Florida many years ago, right?
Yes,
And then he lived in Los Angeles, and you all were very close friends until a few years ago, correct?
that's correct.
Okay. Your Honor, permission to publish, or I move for admission of this, and permission to publish with the email addresses redacted. And if they want me to redact Mr. Witkin's responses, that's fine.
We have no objection to that, Your Honor, and I don't think we need to have Mr. Witkin's response redacted.
All right, so you just want to have just the identifiers redacted and that's all?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, we could do that. All right.
Okay, now I know this is a few years before Australia in 2015, which we stopped with right before lunch. But I want to just, if you can scroll down, Michelle, please, to the paragraph that starts, brain is on full tilt.
Brain
just
is
blow out
on
the first
full
couple
tilt.
sentences there. Okay, yeah, perfect. So in this email to Mr. Witkin in June of 2013, you write to him, brain is on full tilt. The circus never stops. Feel physically fucked, constantly. I'm wired up so tight that I'm barely able to deal with people on any level that is remotely enjoyable.
Wow.
See that? Did I read that right?
Yes, I see. Yeah.
Now, Michelle, can you please pull up Exhibit 350, Defendant's Exhibit 350? This is a text exchange that you had with Stephen Duders, your personal assistant, on March 6th, 2015. So we fast forwarded a couple years. Do you see that?
Is that 16?
couple
28,
years.
is it the third one down?
Yes, sir. 1628. Third one down.
Good thing this is on 1.5. There's so much like administrative.
And this is a
hoopla.
text that you sent to Mr. Deuters on March 6th, 2015?
Sorry, just reading it. Yes.
And by this point, you had been in Australia since about the week after your wedding, right? So for 3 weeks or so? Is that about right?
Seems right, yes.
Okay. And Amber didn't arrive until around this time, correct? Beginning of March?
Yes, I recall that Amber arrived around 6th, 7th.
The 6th or 7th of March, right? Okay. So you'd been outside of her presence for the last 3 or 4 weeks prior to this, right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Can you, Your Honor, I would move for admission of Defendant's Exhibit 350 with identifiers redacted.
Your Honor, we would ask that the top email to Mr. Holmes and the last email from Mr. Deuters be redacted.
So just the two in the middle?
Yes.
Sure.
Very
And honestly, Your
quickly.
Honor, then we're going to do that. We can just redact the, actually, we can redact the second one too. So we just do the third.
Your Honor, we believe that's necessary for context.
Okay, for context, all right, so just get rid of the first one and the last one and the identifiers. So it should be the two middle texts.
Like one slip up and you can dock someone. You actually do have to go pretty safe and slow.
Thank you. If you could just,
350 in evidence as redacted. Okay, good.
thank you, Your Honor. Michelle, if you could blow up the email starting with honestly. So this is an email. You've been in pre-production and shooting in Pirates 5 for the last couple of weeks, correct? By March 6, 2015?
What was the question, sorry?
By March 6, 2015, you've been in pre-production and shooting for Pirates 5 for a couple of weeks in Australia, right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. So your email to him, to Mr. Deuters, your personal assistant, reads, honestly, I will not again be doing anything that involves the discussion of furthering my embarrassment of having whored for all these fucking wasted pieces of shit, nothing, years on characters that I so ignorantly started to think of as my legacy. Every cunting fight, every fucking time, I held my ugliness and rage deeper down and get in check when there was still room in my head to do such a thing. Did I read that right?
Sounds like he's beefing.
And that's
with
what you're
his
writing
Disney.
to Mr. Deuters, having been on the set of Pirates 5 for a couple of weeks, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
The screenplay that I received was not up to snuff, I felt. And so that was part of this, was my anger was that the screenplay was very lazily written, and I had to do a lot of rewriting.
Okay.
And
there you go.
with you in Australia, I think we covered this, was Debbie Lloyd. You testified to that before lunch, right? Debbie Lloyd was your sobriety nurse. She was supposed to help you stay sober, correct?
She was there to give me meds and
Right. The fact is,
stay on the path.
okay. The fact is, Mr. Depp, you had been using a fair
You notice
amount
the
of drugs
difference there?
during those 3 or 4.
The difference in language there, where he's like, she was supposed to keep you sober, and he's like, yeah, she's there to keep me on the path. Like, it's usually not just a switch. You just suddenly go full cold turkey sober, like.
4-week period before Miss Heard arrived in Australia, hadn't you?
Marijuana was what I was using.
And not just that, other drugs too, correct?
No, not that I recall, no.
Let's take a look at Exhibit 346, please. Okay. This is a text message exchange between you and Nathan Holmes on February 25th, 2015. Correct?
That's correct.
Mr. Holmes was another one of your personal assistants, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
He and Stephen Deuters were kind of the two main personal assistants during this period of time, right?
That's correct.
And at the top of the page, the second one down, do you see where Mr. Holmes tells
Objection, hearsay.
you he just testified that he was only using marijuana, and this is clearly impeachment to that, Your Honor?
This is Mr. Holmes' words.
We're gonna go text by text, and before I ask for permission to publish and for motion for admission, we'll go through it. But
I'll sustain as Mr. Holmes. So.
Okay,
She's
Mr. Depp, why don't you take a moment to read this text from the top down?
Thank you.
Please.
Yeah, just because someone else says that you are using other drugs doesn't mean you actually were. Right? Is that what they're trying to do here? Skip ahead past the reading because we can't actually see what's happening in their minds.
Okay, yes.
So,
Okay.
Mr. Depp, does this refresh your recollection that, in fact, you weren't doing just marijuana in late February 2015? In fact, you were doing cocaine that Nathan Holmes was supplying to you.
In fact, there's nothing in there that says I've been doing cocaine.
Does this refresh your recollection, Mr. Depp, that you were given cocaine by Nathan Holmes in late February 2015?
Even if I were given cocaine by Nathan Holmes, there's there's nothing here that says I was doing the cocaine.
And Nathan Holmes was upset. You understood that Nathan
Got him
Holmes
there.
thought that you might be upset with him for taking some of your cocaine. Isn't that right?
I think
Objection, Your
that's,
Honor, hearsay and speculation.
excuse me.
I said, what was his understanding?
No, I'll sustain his speculation. Next question.
Okay. And in fact, Mr. Depp, you also were going to see Marilyn Manson in Australia around this time, correct?
Correct, he was coming to play a show in Melbourne.
Okay. Your Honor, I would move for admission of this document with the following text messages. We can redact whatever else they want, although I think, well, the ones that, the witness's own words that I'd like to show are 80039, 80041, 80086.
Is he trying to prove that he used drugs other than
Those are all
marijuana?
words from Mr. Depp.
As long as everything else is
Usually
redacted.
look at this highlighted.
All set.
Okay. So no objection to the redactions?
No objection to
346
admitting those with redactions, yes.
Okay, thank you. Get those redactions.
Okay.
All right, 346 in evidence.
Michelle, can you just blow up the text? Holmes, your personal assistant. Have you heard from Manson's Ryan?
Here we go. Here we go.
You text Mr. Holmes, your personal assistant. Have you heard from Manson's Ryan? Now, Ryan was Marilyn Manson's personal assistant, or he worked for him. That's what you understood, correct?
At the time, yes.
Okay. And then you say, yes, and of course. Yes, please, and you will pay Ryan for it. 2 exclamation points, 2 question marks. And then you write, disappear, we should have more happy pills. 3 exclamation points, 2 question marks. Can you? Followed by 3 exclamation points. Did I read that correctly?
Oh
You
my
did.
God.
Okay. Can you take that down and please pull up
Although they
Exhibit
were question
349?
marks instead of exclamation points.
Technically, it was a question. Imagine getting that from your boss. You need more
And
happy
Mr. Depp,
pills.
this text
you?
exchange that I'm going to ask you about is from just 2 days later,
Can you?
after February 26th. On February 28th, it's the last 2 on the page. February 28th, 2015, there's a text from you to Mr. Duders.
I would object to the, as hearsay with respect to the text from Mr. Duders.
That's fine.
Okay, you're just, so you're,
So just the second to last one is all we would seek to admit.
okay, if we could do the redactions for just that.
Yes, Your Honor, and we'll happy to redact Mr. Duders' response.
Okay. Okay.
Sent on February 28th, 2015. You send Mr. Duders an email, and if you remember, what we had just looked at was you reaching out to Mr. Holmes, asking if he had heard from Manson's assistant Ryan, and then saying yes and yes and yes, of course, please pay Ryan for it, and then asking for more happy pills. And in this text message, you say, yay, hello, Master D. I say, I do believe that Ryan, parentheses, Munson's, gave you a wee baggage for me. Where does it reside? X. Did I read that right?
You continue to read them right, yes.
And where it says Munson's, that's a typo and should have said Manson's, correct?
It's a nickname.
Okay. You can take that down. Thank
No
you.
typo. No
So we've
typo.
gone from February 26th to February 28th. I'd now like to fast forward to March 2nd of that year, 2015. Can you please pull up Exhibit 353? Your Honor, let's do it this way. Mr. Depp, these are text messages back and forth from you to your other personal assistant, Nathan Holmes, in March of 2015, correct?
Appears to be, yes. Yes.
Your Honor, I know that the whole thing is going to draw an objection, but I would like to move to admit Mr. Depp's text, which I have here highlighted, and I think we can redact pretty quickly through this document. And I'm happy to have them highlighted if you'd like to approach
Well,
it.
if you could just
Sure.
show it to counsel, the highlighted portions. Is this a one-page document or?
It's actually
Your doubt.
Okay.
Is he gonna have to read it now?
Is that correct?
yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Assuming that
Keep having
Ms.
to
Myers
skip,
agrees with our redactions here.
skip through the redaction process. They're doing it live.
Can we just see the other pages?
Oh my God.
For Ms. Herder.
This is why people don't like lawyers.
And on March 2nd, a few days before Ms. Hurd arrives in Australia, you text Nathan Holmes, and this is going to take a little bit just to kind of get through this, so appreciate the court and the jury's patience here. But you text him on number 73, and you say, no, you're not. Why? That is not a part of the job description. And I'm telling you now, any of you guys start to lecture me, I just do not want to hear it. No stupid bullshit about sappy bollocks.
Sappy bollocks.
I am a grown fucking man, and I will not be judged. Did I read that right?
You did.
Keep going, please. And I will never, ever live in this world cage any longer. I'll do whatever I damn well please. Okay. Did I read that right?
You did.
Then if we go on to the next page, please. You continue and say, I don't want to depend on others for things like that. I'm not unhappy. I am insane. Big difference. Did I read that right?
You did.
No system. Then you say, I don't want to risk it for you or anyone. So I can get what I need. Also, may I be ecstatic again? Helps. Color me deceased. By ecstatic, you're referring to taking ecstasy, correct?
It's very likely. Before Miss Heard arrived, she'd asked me to score either MDMA or ecstasy tablets before her arrival.
Okay. So once again, Miss Heard's at fault for these texts.
I'm not blaming her for the text. I'm just stating the facts.
Okay. Well, let's talk about those facts. So
Okay.
Miss Heard arrives in March in 2015. You can go ahead and actually, you know what? Let's go down one, Michelle, because we're going to fast forward a few days and we're going to come back to this. Actually, just one day. This is when you text Mr. I mean, remember if it was Holmes or Duders at this point, Mr. Holmes, correct? And you text him and you say,
This is
yeah,
on
Mr.
the
Holmes.
7th.
Yeah, so
Yes.
we fast forwarded another couple of days, I guess, 5 days. And you say, need more whitey stuff ASAP, brother man, and the e-business, please. I'm in bad shape. Say nothing to nobody.
Wow.
Did I read that right?
Wow. Yo, nothing worse than having the text that says "say nothing to nobody" read in open court to millions of people. Sheesh.
And I wanted to take a look at that, Mr. Depp, because
Truly George Orwell's 1984's Animal Crossing.
you just testified that Miss Heard was the one who wanted ecstasy. But in fact, when you sent this text on March 7th, 2015, this was right after you cut your finger off.
No.
And right after you told the
Whoa.
doctor that you cut your finger off, you were asking for
Wait.
cocaine and ecstasy. That's entirely possible,
Hold up.
correct?
Wait, hold up.
I'm not sure that you have the date correct about when my finger was chopped off.
Okay.
Whoa. You see how he just skipped over that? When you cut your finger off and Johnny's like, ooh, hold up. Well, hold up. You just made a big claim there. What the fuck?
Okay, let's take a look.
The date was the 8th.
You also got the date wrong. I thought there was some real funny business with this finger thing. That's the part I don't understand. I think I missed on it. That was slippery. That was
Testifying.
pretty slippery.
Now, Mr. Depp, you remember testifying, let's put it this way. Sometimes these texts, the dates of the text messages, you would agree that they're obviously Australia's 12 hours different from this part of the world, correct? Or something like that.
Sure.
Something like that, sure, I'll agree on that.
So the date stamps and time stamps that are reflected on these texts may be reflecting a different time than when they were actually sent.
Objection
guy-
foundation calls for speculation.
Yeah, what are you talking about? They have a code on it. All the text messages are sent with the actual the zone they're coming from. So what are you talking about?
You agree with that, right?
No, I'll sustain the objection.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Well, then let's do this. So is it your testimony that right after you cut your finger off, that you, or right after, I won't give you anything to argue with me yet. Right after you sustained an injury to your finger,
Sorry.
that you, right after you sustained an injury to your finger, is it your
There you
testimony
go.
that you did not ask for cocaine and ecstasy right after you told the doctor about your finger injury? Is that your testimony?
Regardless of what date you believe works within the world time zone, I don't believe that someone who has gone through opiate dependency, who has lost the ability to produce dopamine and serotonin in their own body, because that's what the opiate does. Your body no longer needs to make the dopamine or the serotonin.
It relies on
the dopamine and
the opiates.
serotonin, as you know, I imagine, are things that keep us
Same.
it gives us our moods. It gives
I
us.
appreciate that, but my question wasn't that. My question was,
I'm just
right
trying to
after
school
you
you
told the
on it.
doctor about your finger injury, you were
Trying to
asking for
school you.
it's entirely possible that you were asking for cocaine and ecstasy.
Objection
Yes
calls
or
for
no?
speculation.
No, I'll allow that question answered.
Clearly, need more whitey stuff. Yes, it's a reference to cocaine. but that doesn't, there's nothing here that says that I ingested the drug.
Not
Got
saying
him.
there is, but you were asking for more cocaine.
Got him.
You were asking for more ecstasy, correct?
Yeah.
I wasn't asking for more ecstasy. I was asking for ecstasy because that was what I was requested by Ms. Hurt.
Let's take a look at the UK transcript, day 3, a permission to approach with that.
Oh, Johnny's getting caught. He's getting caught because you can't on one end start justifying like the need for these dopamine and serotonin replacements because you're off opiates, so you're asking for drugs, and also be like, yeah, but no proof I actually ingested it. Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy.
Day 3.
Strains credibility a little bit. I don't know. But so far, this is
460.
just kind of like moral puritanism, like just being like, you did drugs, you bad, you the bad man.
On page 463, line 20, you're asked the question, Mr. Depp, what I'm asking you about, and I think your barrister, Mr. Sherborne, agrees, the times we have to factor in, it may be we can put in an agreed local Australian time, but what is important, do you see, is the order that you have cut your finger off, and straight away, after telling your doctor that you cut your finger off, you are asking for cocaine and ecstasy. Answer, yes, that is what it. Question, that is what it looks like. Answer, appears to be, and it is entirely possible that I was in the state that I was in. Did I read that right?
Yes, you did. Asking for cocaine.
So we talked about the cocaine and the ecstasy. Let's talk about the altercation that you and Ms. Hurd had in Australia.
This is where things get dangerous.
You testified that you were sitting on a bar stool, right? In Australia, this is before.
So you're fast forwarding to the end of that argument.
Yeah, we've heard your account of the argument, and the jury will hear Ms. Hurd's account of the argument. What I want to ask you some specific questions about. You're sitting on a bar stool. You've had 3 or 4, I think you said 3 shots of vodka.
I did 2 or 3 shots of vodka, yes. Yeah.
And you're resting with your hands kind of hanging over the edge, like that, right?
Well, after the first bottle whizzed past my head and shattered, as I said, I walked around the bar, grabbed the larger, was another bottle of vodka, the only one there. The larger bottle, brought it back, and poured another shot, and did it.
And that was like a what we
Seems
call
like
a handle of vodka. Is that right?
A
But yeah,
same.
it's one of the larger bottles with it's got a handle on it. Yes.
And it was full at the time, other than the shot that you poured.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a full bottle.
Okay. And at some point, before you claim you sustained an injury to your finger, I believe you demonstrated to the jury yesterday, but you were resting with your 3 fingers, your middle 3 fingers, kind of hanging over the edge. Is that fair? Is that right?
Yes, I just had a bottle thrown at me, so I was when she grabbed the second bottle.
Right. I'm just asking where your fingers were. So. At that point, your palm was facing down, and your 3 middle fingers were hanging over.
Once you was reaching back to
Basically,
whip another bottle up my head,
And
my fingers were indeed.
Amber was 7 to 10 feet away. Correct.
Once you grabbed the bottle, yes.
Okay. And your testimony, and we've heard it yesterday.
Fuck,
your
I
testimony
missed something.
somehow she wound up with this handle of vodka and threw it, and it damaged part of your middle finger. But what we didn't talk about, what I want to ask about is it didn't. If it happened the way you said, it didn't damage any other part of your hand. Correct. No other part of your fingers. None of the other middle fingers that were hanging over the edge of the bar were injured. Correct?
Objection compound.
We can take it piece by piece. None of the 3 fingers that were hanging over the edge of the bar were sustained any injury other than your middle finger. Is correct?
So
The middle finger certainly took the brunt of it as the tip.
And there's
was cut off.
there's no record of any glass being found in that middle finger. Correct?
Objection calls for speculation.
I'm
I'll allow you to answer.
I'm
what
not a doctor, and I'm not sure what
was found?
was found in the middle finger. What I do know is that when I went to the emergency room, that they had to inject me with a block to be able to put it into a bucket and take a wire brush to scrub it all clean.
Right.
Because I had all the makeup still left from Pirates on there. And
Yeah.
Makeup from Pirates. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. But none of the other fingers on your hand were sustained any injury that you're aware of. Correct?
no, there were nothing else was severed. No.
Okay. And in fact, it wasn't just makeup from Pirates that was on your hand. It was paint that you had dipped your middle finger into to write, along with blood, to write on mirrors and lamps and assorted furniture in the house. Correct?
Objection compound.
All right, I'll sustain as a compound.
It wasn't just makeup. You testified yesterday that it was just makeup from the set of Pirates 5. But in fact, after you sustained an injury to your finger, you dipped it in paint in the house, and you wrote in paint mixed with blood all over the place.
Objection compound.
I'll sustain the objection.
You dipped your
my
finger in
goodness.
paint in the house and wrote on objects in the house. Correct?
Objection compound.
You dipped your finger in paint after suffering an injury.
Yes.
And then you used that finger to write on objects in the house. Yes or no?
Yes, that was after after writing on the walls, the blood had kind of dried, as it were, and And so I stuck my finger into a can of paint and also, excuse me, mineral spirits to put my verbal messages onto the wall.
And you use your
Wow.
finger as a paintbrush, right?
What?
Essentially, yes.
And
Oh my gosh.
can we put up Exhibit 369, please?
That is a demented scene. She's whipping bottles at him, apparently.
Um,
And
you know,
he's
it might be
turning it
pointless.
into art. What is this guy's point? Where are we going with this? He has to keep reminding that she was throwing bottles at him, and he's sustained an
Mr.
injury.
Depp, we're gonna take a look at some pictures shortly, but you'd agree with me that there was quite a bit of damage to the house in Australia after this incident, correct?
What about his finger?
There was quite a bit of damage to the house during the entire incident, yes.
And you don't remember the television breaking, do you?
I remember there was I believe there was a coffee cup stuck into the screen, or a plate or something like that.
And you don't remember the window breaking, do you?
She's
I don't
looks like she's.
remember a window breaking.
But you do remember that there was
Trying to
quite a
hold
lot
it
of blood
together.
everywhere, including on floors and sofas.
Oh
Well,
my
I'd noticed, that's how I'd noticed that I was leaking.
Blood.
And there was heat in my finger, and I felt this warmth and this liquid, and then I noticed that the tip of my finger was gone. And at
And-
that
Right.
point, I think I went into some sort of
Shock?
shock or whatever is closest to a kind of nervous breakdown.
Yeah, you testified that breakdown. You could have
Damn, I
also
missed that.
defaced a painting by drawing a penis on it, didn't you?
I've never, I don't know about that. I don't remember drawing
It's-
a penis on a painting.
Given the state you were in, it's entirely possible that you did that, even if you don't remember it to this day, correct?
Wait, what?
Drawing a penis on a painting was not the first thing on my mind.
Let's
I
look.
had messages
Oh, lol.
to write, reminders that were from misheard.
But you don't deny that if a painting was defaced with a penis drawn on it, that could have been you, even if you were blacked out and don't remember that, correct?
Objection, speculation.
This was no blackout. I know you love the word. It was no blackout. It was shock.
That wasn't my question, Mr. Depp, but respectfully, it was you don't deny that you could have defaced a painting in the manner that I just described.
Well, given that I had written some messages on the bathroom mirror and then misheard added to them, it's also not impossible that misheard may have drawn a penis on
Got
a
him.
painting somewhere.
Got him.
That's not where I was going.
Got him. Take that question, shove it up your ass.
Let's take a look at page 451 of your testimony in the UK trial, please.
Do you deny that you could have possibly drawn a penis? Do you deny having certain thoughts about drawing on art? I don't not deny it. Oh, fuck. Got me. What a scene, though, eh? Holy cow. Absolutely crazy.
And if you look at page 451, line
I'm trying to
21,
visualize
please.
it.
You were asked the question, let me ask you, is defacing a painting something that you are likely to have forgotten? Answer, I recall a painting on a lampshade, on a wall, on a mirror. I remember dunking my finger into paint thinner and using paint when I had run out of blood to paint with, and I could have defaced the painting, I suppose, but I do not remember a painting specifically. Question, down below on 452, line 15. So, there are parts of this episode that you do not remember at all, because that would be quite a big thing, would it not, painting a penis on a picture? Answer, it would be quite a big thing. I do not recall. Question, it is not something you would do by accident, is it? You do not accidentally. Answer, no, I would say not. Question, you have no recollection?
There better be a painting at the end of this. That's all I'm saying. This better be going somewhere, and they're going to pull out the fucking painting, okay?
Answer, I am sorry, I'm not 100.
Oh, nice. Yes, absolutely, Loud Tyrant Youth. You have been missing crazy, interesting stuff, but your dad's birthday is way more important. Essentially, what we're learning, and we missed it. There's another stream where Johnny sort of gave his side of the story, but it sounds like they got into a fight where she was whipping bottles at him, and she hit his hand, allegedly, and took off a bit, and in this like big argument, he started painting on the walls what I guess his opinions were at that time. Like, I guess, fuck you, Amber, or whatever he had in his mind. And then realizes part of his finger's missing and has to go to the hospital in blood, in ink, in blood. Yeah, and so the lawyer is going hard on like property damages. And do you think you could have perhaps forgotten drawing a penis on some artwork? And Johnny Depp's like, was she was drawing on the on mirrors and stuff too. Maybe she could have done. It's like, okay, all right, let's go. Yeah, this is very quickly descended into absolute degeneracy. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. We're at the dark part of it because this lawyer is trying so hard to pretend like Johnny Depp's fingers sustained an injury, like it just magically happened, and Johnny Depp keeps having to remind him, like, yeah, after I dodged the first bottle that was thrown at me, then I noticed the second bottle had severed my finger. So allegedly, when you chopped off your own finger, like that's how we started. The lawyer just tried to skip over, like, so when you chopped off your finger, did you send this text on this date? And the Johnny's like, wait, what? Wait, what? I did what to my what now? Yeah, this is very much in the past like 15 minutes gotten, the Scoville level has just been pumping up.
100% sure that I can say I did that. Did I read that right?
You did read it right, sir. Thank you.
Let's take a look at Exhibit 374, please.
Is it Defendant's Exhibit 374?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yeah, this is why people don't like lawyers. They ask like demented questions. Absolutely diabolical.
Mr. Depp, you recognize this as one of the mirrors that you wrote on with your injured finger in March of 2015.
Yes, I do.
And yesterday you texted, I'm sorry, we've seen a lot of texts today.
It's all right. I did take someone yesterday.
Yesterday, you testified that you wrote on the mirror, and I don't remember exactly what you said, but you essentially said that you wrote things about your past with Ms. Heard, or grievances that you had with her, correct?
Reminders, yes.
Okay.
Reminders.
Your Honor, permission to move this in as an exhibit and ask for permission to publish.
Any objection?
No objection,
All right,
Your Honor.
374 now.
Mom was like, he's not getting enough of our attention while we have you open on moped and just mute. That's funny. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's good. It's okay.
Evidence? You can publish?
Pretty sure your dad's more more important.
You could just
It's funny.
blow that up a little bit.
Y'all are adorable.
So, on this, which you wrote on with your severed finger, you wrote in some mix of paint or blood, starring Billy Bob and Easy Amber.
Yes, sir.
Miss Heard arrived directly in Australia
Billy
from
Bob?
filming the film London Fields in England with Billy Bob Thornton, correct?
That's correct.
And you hadn't seen your new bride in 3 or 4 weeks, and she arrives. You're not happy about her filming with Billy Bob Thornton, and so as part of this altercation incident, after your finger is injured, you write starring Billy Bob and Easy Amber on the mirror, correct?
Objection compound.
I'll sustain the objection.
Right.
I'll move on.
Right.
Let's pull up Exhibit 375, please.
I think Billy Bob's got a bit of a reputation too. Isn't that the case? Like, doesn't that man fuck? I mean, I guess it's Hollywood. We'll skip ahead a bit.
You wrote with your in blood and paint after your finger injury in March of 2015.
Yes, sir. That's in the same bathroom.
Okay. Your Honor, move for admission of Exhibit 375 and request permission to publish.
No objection,
All
Your
right,
Honor.
375
There's been some
evidence?
pretty
Publish.
saucy pictures we haven't been able to see. Like party scenes in this bloody mirror. Bloody painted mirror. Gotta use our imaginations. Too much
Pull up
imagination.
Exhibit 377.
Okay, this guy's pulling up
Injury on
some
March 8th, 2015.
evidence.
Correct?
That's correct.
Your Honor, move for admission of Exhibit 377.
No objection.
All right, 377 in evidence. You can publish.
Permission to publish.
Give us the spice. You can't handle it. You can't handle it.
And
He is really digging though. He is really digging hard to try to like get at the "Are we the baddies" moment, like the monster that Johnny Depp kept alleging. Or
on this
describing.
lampshade, which appears to be sitting on the ground, you write some mixture of blood or paint. Good luck and be careful at top.
Yes, correct.
Correct?
Okay.
Yes. I thought it was good advice.
Okay. Now,
That finger though, that's what I want to know about. Like the way he framed this. Initially, the first question out of this lawyer's mouth was, when you chopped, he skipped over it. He just included it as a little part of the question. And the question was about something different. Just like, oh yeah, so that time you chopped your finger off. Dirty.
you have never and I know Ms. Heard will give her account of this incident later in the trial. Just to be clear, you have never seen Amber inflict harm on herself or on her arms or anything like that, correct?
Objection compound.
Sustain.
You've never seen Amber inflict harm on herself.
That depends on your definition of harm, sir.
And seen.
That's quite a broad word.
Yeah.
Can you please pull up your UK
Physical harm?
testimony at page 434?
I mean, you can see someone harming themselves with, you know, bad life choices.
Yes.
Seen, and in the UK trial, were you asked this question and did you give this answer? Question: you have never seen her inflict harm on herself, on her arms, or anything like that during the time you were with her?
Yeah, that's
Answer,
physical
no,
harm.
No. Did I read that right?
That's physical harm.
I don't see it on page 434.
Oh,
Top
really?
of page.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Of Johnny Depp's finger? Oh, really? Tell me more. Tell me more? Oh, oh. Ooh, I don't know if I can show that on stream. No, I cannot show that on stream. Oh, I cannot show that on stream.
435. So
Yeah, it took a couple images to find it, but yeah, it's pretty gruesome. It's definitely a big red spot.
sorry if I wasn't clear. Let's go.
435. Okay.
Yeah. So the bottom of page 34. Question: you have never seen her inflict harm on herself, on her arms, or anything like that during the time you were with her. And then the answer at the top of page 435 is no, no. Did I read that correctly?
You did.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a good poll. Loud Tyrant Youth.
You testified yesterday that when you went to the hospital that you told them that you had injured your finger in an accordion door. Remember giving that testimony?
Yes, I do.
That's actually not true, is it? You actually told the hospital that you had cut it off with a kitchen knife. Isn't that right?
No, that's not true.
Can you pull up Exhibit 360, please?
I believe there was one of my team who might have said that to the doctor, but that was not my, those were not my words.
Ah, interesting.
At any rate, we were looking to keep Amber's name out of it.
Yeah. Interesting. It's meaty. Oh God. This whole thing is pretty.
Where it says, thanks for seeing and treating this exhibit into evidence, but do you see the portion where it says, thanks for seeing and treating this patient? You see that? And then right after that, it says,
I just gotta go pee.
sustained an injury to his right middle finger tonight after
Hydration check. I naturally had to go looking. Yeah. I don't blame you. I'll be right back.
accidentally cutting it with a kitchen knife. You see that?
I do see that.
And there's no mention of an accordion door in that document, is there?
I'll read it if you like, but that was, I didn't sign my name to this.
And-
That's not my statement to them. I used the accordion door.
You testified
If they use
yesterday
another
that you
excuse,
told,
then I can't help that.
you testified yesterday that you told Dr. Kipper that Ms. Heard had, in fact, been responsible for your finger injury. Do you remember giving that testimony?
Yes.
But in fact, in subsequent communications to Dr. Kipper, you referenced more than once that you chopped off your own finger to Dr. Kipper, correct?
I think the key word is chopped off my own finger. When you say to someone, I've chopped my finger off, that's just going straight to the fact. You don't get into, she did this, I did that, this, that. My finger's been chopped off.
Let's take a look at Exhibit 398, please. I'd like to direct your attention, sir, to the text message number 94, which is a text message from you to Dr. David Kipper on March 19th, 2015. Do you see that?
I will in a second.
Sure.
94. This is, yes, March 19th, so I was in Los Angeles, yes. Yes, I see the text.
Your Honor, I would move for the admission of this exhibit with just that text displayed and every identifier redacted.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, we could do that redactions.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
That is a sense of humor. I apologize.
See, this is what you need me for. I can skip through all the document nonsense. But yeah, we're finally getting to the heart of where that
Text message
chop my finger off bit is coming from. And Johnny Depp's is like,
So in this text message from you to
it's a vernacular. This is how I talk.
Dr. Kipper on March 19th, 2015, you text him, "My most sincere apologies to you, Doc. I understand your decision based on my immunity to do the right thing, and I truly do thank you for your concern. I must apologize for not having had the presence of mind to respect the man who has been the most kind and who has done more for me than anyone ever. There was no call for my spineless and base behavior toward you. I honestly understand the reasons for your concern."
You went and saw two? Oh no, oh no.
Concerns in your letter, and can say to you now, they no longer are an issue. Thank you for
Honestly, at the beginning of this stream, like the lawyer read at least one text message that might end up getting me in trouble on YouTube. YouTube's been clapping me left, right, and center. Oh no.
I have chopped off my left middle finger as a reminder that I should never cut my finger off again. I love you, brother. Johnny. Did I read that right?
You did.
And Miss Heard was not on that text message, was she?
No, she was not.
Can you take that down and put up Exhibit 499, please? Doctor?
Yes, I do.
Your Honor, I move for admission of this exhibit. Kipper's nurse, Aaron Borum, in October 2015. You say, and I'll just try to read the relevant parts, sent huge text to Kipper, no response. He's an odd duck, old Kipper. This is the second time that he's held off giving me meds by blackmailing me into seeing him. The first time I had just chopped
Who cut the finger, Johnny?
my finger off. Oh well, I want off of the majority of the stuff anyway. I guess that's a new...
You don't cut your own finger off. Like, I don't care how many text messages he pulls up showing that Johnny has texted, "I cut my finger off." Like, what is it like if you try to bite yourself and draw blood? Like, it's a sign of mental, like, instability or something. Like, I don't know how you chop your own finger off. I don't know how that happens. Like, that's an accident in the kitchen.
Way to stop X. Did I read that right?
Stop.
You did.
And
You
Amber's
never
not
pull a
on that
James
text
Frank.
exchange, correct?
No, she's not.
Chill, Chad.
I'd
Chill.
like to, we can pull up Exhibit 343. I believe it's plaintiff's exhibit
Hungry.
343. And this,
Y'all are hungry for blood. Hungry for blood.
this is where you tell Amber in a recording that you mentioned the day I chopped my finger off. So let's listen to that. Please.
Are you in 343 in the evidence?
Yeah, I think it's plaintiff's. It's the same one that was played yesterday. I believe that's plaintiff's 343.
343 already in evidence.
I think what we missed by not watching yesterday's testimony is he played the recordings, and that's something that I'm missing on context. Like, he gave his testimony, got examined by his lawyer, and I guess he would have revealed those damning recordings.
Sure.
Okay. Which portion are you playing?
I'm playing 202. I don't know if we'll be able to get it exactly right, so if there's a second or two on either. It's a plaintiff's exhibit. I don't know the date.
Now we're talking about.
Here we go. Here we go.
Wait, you're talking about. I don't know. Talking about Australia. The day now we're talking about Australia. Okay. Yeah.
You hear that? You said the day I chopped my finger off.
No.
Let's play it again. Let's
That'd be
begin.
great.
What?
Wait, you're talking about. I don't know. Talking about Australia. The day now we're talking about Australia. Okay.
Are you sure that's
Yeah, let's do it one more time.
what
We
I
actually
said?
don't-
Or is it the day that I got
Are you sure that's what I'm saying there?
my finger chopped off?
No, you say the day that I chopped my finger off. So let's play it one more time, 'cause I think I left out
what?
the word that. It says the day that I chopped my finger off.
Bullshit.
Wait, you're talking about. I don't know. Talking about Australia. The day now we're talking about Australia. Okay.
He didn't say that. He says the day that and that's all I can hear.
I'm not so sure. In fact, earlier you had quoted Jerry Judge from the airplane tape as calling me an asshole. Wait till the asshole falls asleep. And I'm positive that those words never left his mouth, because he would have, if I would have been making those noises in the bathroom, he would have ripped the hinges off.
Now the lawyer's the one on trial. Let's impeach the lawyer's credibility. Oh, this is an interesting turn of events.
Maybe they left his mouth when you were passed out, sir, respectfully. Let's listen to
I
this one
don't
more
think he
time.
was. I don't think he was-
Objection.
I'll sustain his
What the
argument.
fuck? Maybe you were so drug-addled the pills are just falling out of your mouth, Johnny Depp. Do you ever consider that? This lawyer is got no chill. Oh my god.
I just want to play this video this one more time, please.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, you're talking about. I don't know. Talking about Australia. The day now we're talking about Australia. Okay. Yeah.
We can move on. Let's bring up Exhibit 380.
Yeah, that didn't do what you think
This
it
is
did.
another recording, Your Honor. I don't know whether it's been admitted into evidence yet.
380. Plaintiff's 380 or defendant's 380?
I believe it's defendants. I left my cheat sheet.
Thought it was an easy question.
I'm sorry.
Okay, 380.
I had it written down and
All right.
don't have it in front of me.
Oops. Gotta have your cheat sheet as a lawyer.
They're both 380.
Plaintiff's 380.
Plaintiff's 380, okay.
Yes.
All right, I don't know if that's in evidence or not. Plaintiff-
Move it into evidence through 3410.
I assume no objections, this is the audio.
As long as this is an audio recording of just Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard, we have no objection.
This portion is.
This portion is.
Yes, I believe that there's other portions that involve other people, but as best I'm aware, well, actually, no. May we approach? 'Cause
That don't fuck up right now. Don't dox someone.
Okay, do not discuss the case and do not do any outside research, okay?
Oh wow. Okay, so we're on to part 3. 11 hours ago. So we are very quickly catching up on the events. This has been really interesting cross-examination. This lawyer's fucking it up, though. I don't know what he's trying to prove at this point.
play a portion of Exhibit 380, which is an audio recording. Counsel for both sides have conferred that neither side has an objection to the following excerpt being played, which is 33:33 through 34 minutes, through 34:00.
So 33 minutes to 34 minutes. So you're only entering the evidence that 1 minute of this audio, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. There's,
So somebody's going to get me an audio clip of just that at some point, correct?
sure, we're happy to take care of that.
Okay, so I'll make that 380A.
We can fight over the rest of it later, but for
It's-
now, this will be
It's
just
plaintiff's
this.
380A.
Plaintiff's 380A. Would you
Okay.
like, we're happy to take care of that. If
That's fine, somebody just gives me that 1 minute.
Oh, I'm told it's actually defendants, so, they're both 380, so take your pick. So we'll get it to you. How about that?
Oh, joy, okay. All right, we're going to go with plaintiff's 380 right now, okay? Try to keep the record clear. 380A and 33-234. Okay, go ahead.
It's like the lawyers don't have their shit together.
What you are, and who you are, and how you fuck me over, and make me feel sick of myself. There's still a lot left in the day, it makes you dye your hair, I see you ridiculous.
That's your voice in that audio recording, Mr. Depp, correct?
It is indeed, sir.
Now, we talked a little bit about what you wrote on the one mirror when you said Billy Bob Thornton and Easy Amber. Remember seeing that picture a few minutes ago?
I do.
And we talked about how Amber had just been in London filming a film with Billy Bob Thornton, correct?
That's correct.
Now, when you were apart from her, she would want to socialize with other people, and that made you feel insecure, right?
Compound and speculated.
Compound as a stands to compound.
Okay. When you were apart, she would want to socialize with other people, right?
Yes, I suppose at times, yes.
And that occasionally made you feel insecure, didn't it?
Not necessarily.
It's an odd thing.
Let's look at page 257 of your UK transcript, please.
Odd thing to assert. Were you feeling a little insecure, buddy?
.330. What was the number again? I'm sorry.
Sure, no problem. It's day 2, page 257.
257.
So it's page 23 of the document.
Oh, boy.
Yes, sir, 257. Line 13. Did you give the following testimony in response to the following questions? Question. And when you were apart, she would want to do things with other people, see other people, go out with other people, socialize. Yes? Answer. Yes, sure. Question. And did this occasionally make you feel insecure? Answer. Occasionally, yes, it did. Did I read that right?
You did.
Can we please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 343, which is a recording. It's been admitted, and we propose to play seconds 30 through 45. With your permission, Your Honor, may we
Go ahead.
play that portion?
If you look at the bigger picture, what is
become irrational when you're doing movies. I become jealous and fucking crazy and weird. And, you know, we fight. We can do a lot more.
There are so many recordings. They were just regularly recording each other, like so many. Like, is this what's going on?
Play that one more time, please. Actually, before we do this, you tell her you become irrational when you're doing movies, and you say you become weird. You heard those, right? I'd like to hear it. Yeah, let's play it again. Thank you.
If you look at the bigger picture,
I
what
became irrational when you're doing movies. I become jealous and fucking crazy and weird. And, you know, we fight a lot more.
So you heard yourself, Mr. Depp, say, I become irrational when we're doing movies. You heard that, right? I can play it again if you'd like.
It's very difficult to tell if that's a you or I.
Sure, why don't we play it again?
Thank you.
Talk about a good point. Oh my goodness.
If you look at the bigger picture,
I
what
became irrational when you're doing movies. I become jealous and fucking crazy.
If you look at the bigger picture,
I
what
became irrational when you're doing movies. I become jealous and fucking crazy and weird. And, you know, we fight a lot
Sounds
more.
like I.
Mr. Depp, in that audio, you say, I become irrational when you're doing movies. I become jealous, fucking crazy, and weird, and we fight a lot more. You heard that, right?
Yeah, something to that effect, yeah.
You can take that down. I'd like to fast forward, Mr. Depp, to December 15th, 2015. I know there's been some testimony on that day for the jury. And you and Ms. Heard, you gave some testimony yesterday about an altercation that you had that evening. Do you remember giving that testimony?
Yes.
Okay.
I
And do you
it
remember?
was evening, I'm not sure.
Yeah. And okay. And you would agree that after this altercation that you had, that you wrote on the countertop in your penthouse at the ECB in like a gold Sharpie. Remember that?
Very well, yes.
And your
Just sounds like Johnny's an
your
artist.
counsel has shown a picture to you that allegedly was taken that day. I'd like to pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 409, which was shown to the witness yesterday, I believe, Your Honor. Yep. And yeah, there we go. Mr. Depp, and the jury will hear more about this as the case goes on, but do you recognize this picture of Ms. Heard as a picture that was taken directly after the December 15th, 2015 incident?
I don't know when it was. I don't know when the photograph was taken. I don't know much about it.
Okay.
I was out of the
You
picture.
can take that down. In any event, you don't disagree that there was a headbutt that evening. That I know that there's disagreement about the cause of it, but you would agree that that you headbutted Ms. Heard that evening, correct?
No, I would vehemently disagree with that, sir. There was a lot of. I was trying to restrain Ms. Heard,
Vehemently.
And once I had restrained her, I would say if she's trying to still move around and kick at me or trying to get loose, any sort of movement when you're like this and your heads are together, this close together,
yeah,
it's not impossible for them to bump. But
really gets the noggin jogging.
A headbutt is that's pretty extreme.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definition of that.
Let's take a listen to Exhibit 587. I believe that's Defendant's Exhibit 587. And Your Honor, this is one of the recordings that is just the two parties, Amber and Mr. Depp, and we would propose to play 8:45 through 9:20.
All right, is this whole 587 coming into evidence, the whole tape, or just that portion?
Yes, we propose the whole tape come in.
And to the extent that the tape is all just the two
And
parties,
and that's
fine.
just the two parties in this tape?
I believe so, Your Honor.
I believe.
Yes.
You
I mean,
believe?
we'll
should know.
confirm, but for right now, I'd just like to get this part of evidence. If we can have tonight, we'll confirm with you tomorrow that the whole thing is just the two of them. That's my understanding.
All right.
All right, well, so right now I can only put 587A in, which is, and the minutes are, what were the minutes again?
8:45.
Oh God, the documents.
If you have
Okay, here we go.
Well, you did.
yeah, but
Thanks for your sorry.
if you have screaming is like somehow would end all be home,
Well,
sort of offensive thing. You can throw a punch, yeah, screaming is okay. You can headbutt somebody screaming, but don't scream. Fine.
Headbutted you on the fucking
Couldn't believe that.
forehead. That doesn't break a nose.
I don't know if you were.
I think he said
I'll
I
play that one more time.
headbutt you with my
Mr. Depp,
forehead.
My question for you is, did you say I headbutted you in the forehead? That doesn't break a nose. So let's take another listen.
I headbutted
I
you.
didn't. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, but
Thanks for your sorry.
if you have screaming is like somehow would end all be home,
Well,
sort of offensive thing. You can throw a punch, yeah, screaming is okay. You can headbutt somebody screaming, but don't scream. Fine.
Headbutted you on the fucking
Couldn't believe that.
forehead. That doesn't break a nose.
I don't know if you.
I didn't hear that doesn't break a nose. That could be a couple things.
Mr. Depp, you said I headbutted you in the fucking forehead. That doesn't break a nose. Correct?
I did say those
Okay,
words, but
all right,
I didn't. I
let's
said I
Oh.
was using the words that Ms. Heard was using.
Okay.
But there was not an intentional headbutt. And if you want to have a peaceful conversation with Ms. Heard, you might have to placate just a little bit.
Let's listen to Exhibit 598, please, Your Honor. This is another recording that I believe is just between the two. I just want to confirm with my team, but for now,
That was an interesting line. If you want to have a peaceful conversation with Amber, you might have to placate, and that's how he's justifying sort of. Also, what's with this bracelet? Is that a trans rights bracelet? Let's go.
just asked to play minutes 6:05 through 7:36 of 598.
Skip ahead. Here we go.
Who's loudest is most responsible.
My 16-year-old daughter heard you saying shit that she would rather not hear.
By the way, because I'm louder. By the way, my family, my friends, everyone around me saw all the bruises and broken blood vessel under my eye, the bruises on my head, the missing chunks of hair, the split lip, the black eye, the swollen nose, all that shit. Because you're stronger. It does not mean because they heard me that I'm somehow more responsible. It just means they heard me because I yell in a fight. You do provoke. I yell. It doesn't mean I'm more responsible or badder. However, I am exposed via that. The distance between Cafe Cabronas and the house is significant, and I know that does not mean that they got an accurate representation of our fight. But if you told them stuff, great, cool. Thanks for exposing me. As I said to you before, don't do it again unless you want me to really also tell them my side of things. Because trust me, trust me, you know I have a different side than you. And if I show them pictures and stuff, I'm sure they'll have even more different side. And in fact, if I tell them even more stuff, they'll have even more clear picture of what I think are both sides.
Maybe I should show them.
Yo, the fact that there were like literal cop sirens in the back, like, whoa, that is some alarm bells ringing. Oh my god, I cannot match that vibe. I can, Lacey. She talks so fast. I guess I just forgot we were on 1.5. My apologies. Yeah. Not only to keep them, like you're like, okay, we're just recording each other. wait, before you get your next thought out. Recorder, upload to the cloud. Oh, I forgot my password.
Trust me, you know I have a different side than you. And if I show them pictures and stuff, I'm sure they'll have even more different side. And in fact, if I tell them even more stuff, they'll have even more clear picture of what I think are both sides.
Maybe I should show them this.
Is she literally both sidesing it?
And this.
That's true. You
From
can
the
do,
mineral
you
spirits.
can do whatever you want. You can do
a can that you threw at my
whatever.
face.
By the way, do it. I promise you, do it. Do whatever you,
You don't
want.
want me to do that.
No, you
They'll
do
never
whatever
speak to you
want.
again.
You do whatever you want.
Wow. From you can see where they are now from that argument. That is like a straight line. Like we are going. You realize this means war. That's what that conversation was. And he's like, yeah. Look at my finger. Really? You want to go down that path? Fuck.
Let's take a look at Defendant's Exhibit 526, please.
But yeah, what's this bit about all her bruises and stuff? Split lip? Uh-huh. Okay.
These words on the 15th. You wrote these words on the countertop at ECB, the Eastern Columbia building.
Okay, let's find a happy medium here.
And that is correct.
And that's your handwriting on the counter, right? You wrote,
I wrote it in my own handwriting, yes, sir.
why be a fraud? All is such bullshit. You see that?
Very well, yes.
And that's in Penthouse 3?
I meant it. Why be a fraud?
Okay.
Why lie?
Well, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at Exhibit 580.
Oh man, you can see the venom starting to build in him. He is not a happy camper. She doesn't look too happy either. Oh my god. I mean, this is pretty much the worst case.
I'd like to direct your attention to the text message 2 up from the bottom, Amber's father, on December 30th, 2015. Do you see that?
Which one am I looking at?
It's a good question. 131. Can you scroll up, please? 15, correct?
I was just reading it, sir. Yes, yes, that's from me to David Hurd.
Your Honor, move for admission of 580. Just that text is all I want to ask the witness about.
No objection, but with the redactions of the phone numbers.
Of course.
580 entered in evidence.
Just skip through the
You
evidence.
tell him,
The evidence submission.
Amber's father, below is a text that I never hit send on from a week or so again. It was in response to you.
You're embarrassed
brother.
for them? Why? They're rich. They chose this. This is what happened. This is why. What is it like? The rich man enters, cannot enter into heaven the way a camel can't fit through the eye of a needle. Damn, I'm butchering this quote. But yeah, like, I mean, we had some testimony from, I think, one of their relatives who just couldn't handle just the gravity, just how much effect that this is having on the world. And it just boils down to like some pretty petty dispute, but they're rich people, right? So like they're petty disputes that, you know, regular people have all the time, all sorts of really crazy relationships out there. Like they move the entire media sphere just because, like, you know, they're celebrities and stuff. It really kind of like shows how much of our culture is like focused on celebrity worship. I'm interested in it because it's like, it's going to have eyeballs. Like everybody feels like they recognize Johnny Depp and maybe a little Amber Heard, but also like, yeah, it's just like so much focus is on it. Like it sucks up so much oxygen. It's crazy. It's also like an interesting, like a human interest story. Like it's just pretty juicy drama. I hate to say it.
You too, more than you can ever imagine. It's rare in life when one meets a kindred spirit, a couple of madmen with their thirst for further. There have only been maybe 3 people in my entire life of your ilk. You're a rare specimen and our friendship means everything. Yes, I fucked up and went too far in our fight. I cannot and will not excuse my part inside these dramas. But I can promise you with all confidence, they will never happen again. My most sincere apologies if I've let you down. Love you, brother. Did I read that right?
You did read that right, yes.
And so, in this text, sent on December 30th, you're telling David Hurd that you messed up and went too far in a fight.
It doesn't say physical fight.
And in the audio
fights can be arguments.
Sure. And in the audio that we just heard, Amber's talking to you about people seeing her injuries from December 15th.
Yeah, that was
and how she
interesting.
hid them from your kids during Christmas.
That was interesting.
Objection, hearsay.
Is that right?
And I think
Just
like they're trying to, that was what all that bit was about with like saying like, hey, Johnny, you've never heard of Amber ever hurting herself, have you? And he's like, you mean physically? He's like, yeah, you remember in UK you said you've never seen her physically harm herself. Now we get to this audio recording of her describing how she has been injured and hiding those injuries. And she's not like getting pushed back in the moment from Johnny that's not true or something. And now they're trying to like hit him right now, like, haha, we got ya.
I know, but I'll sustain the objection to that question. Next question.
Okay.
This is like the worst form of blood sport. I thought debates were awful to watch. This is way worse. Lawyers are on another level. Holy shit.
After you came back from Australia, you and Amber saw, you can take that down. You and Amber
I understand where the lawyer's going, but could he have made at this point in a more sequential way the back and forth shit through 2012? That's what I've been thinking, right? Like it's just okay. So this happened 9 years ago, and now we're jumping to here. But I guess that's like how you tell your story, right? Like you move through, because I guess maybe like this is the section where it's cross-examination. So you want to like be basing all your questions in real true facts. It can't be hearsay. It can't be like layering a bunch of questions. We've seen already some of his questions be sustained by objections. And so he's just trying to point the narrative, and you can only shoot with whatever ammo you've been given. So I think that's why, like, as an audience, we're kind of having a hard time making it make sense, because there just might be missing pieces in the story, and he's just trying to push it all together.
Someone by the name of Dr. Amy Banks. You joined her by Skype. Do you remember that?
The only time that I've ever seen Dr. Amy Banks was on a video link from Australia.
Right. And you saw her you saw her for a joint session with Amber, correct?
Yes.
And then you saw her individually for a session as well. Do you recall that?
Yes, a brief session, as far as I remember, yeah.
And during the joint session with Dr. Banks, you didn't contradict Amber's reporting that you were
Objection,
violent toward her,
hearsay.
correct?
All right.
That's- If he contradicted that.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
More. See, again. Getting clapped again. He cannot. This is a lot of hearsay.
We're going to jump around a little bit in time here, Mr. Depp. Earlier
Called
today,
it.
you recall
You called it, Lacey.
that we talked about March of 2013, and you saw the picture with the cocaine box that said property of JD. You remember that?
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah. His
like to show you-
designated cocaine box.
A few documents here.
Okay.
Zip.
Oh yes, he says.
Michelle, can you pull up defendant's
I
exhibit?
think it's one of those things where like we can probably buy that he had a cocaine box that he regularly used, but like it's really hard to prove that in court that he always used that box and then at this day in question if he had that box therefore he had cocaine in it. Like there's all sorts of like stuff like you have to get past.
And
Before you can
Depp,
say something is
what
true.
I'm going to ask you about is the second text down. It's the text from you to someone named Sis, who I think you testified heard, correct? First
sorry.
it was Christy, but I think you then testified that it was Whitney Heard, correct?
Sis is always Whitney. I call my sister Christy something else, another nickname.
Okay. Your Honor, I'd move for this is a text from you to Whitney on March 9th, 2013, correct? The second, you see that?
What am I supposed to see? I'm sorry.
The second, the text, two down, is a text from you to Whitney, dated March 9th, 2013.
Yes, I see that, yes. Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I would move for the admission of this Exhibit 159 with that text and then the second and third text from the bottom, please.
Okay.
Everything else.
Let's move forward.
May we approach, Your Honor?
Okay, we're really moving forward.
Anything but the second text message.
Admitted with redaction.
Your Honor.
They're going to admit
So,
the
Mr.
piece
Depp,
of
this
evidence.
is a text message you sent to Whitney
Okay.
Heard on March 9th, 2013. And in this text message, you say, you blow that up as best you can, please. We had a slightly grim morning, but not a doozy. We kissed, she splits, and texts me sweet stuff. I do the same right back, and nada. So I just want to know that she is safe. I've heard nothing, just worried about her, XXX JD. Did I read that right?
Yes.
Okay, so that text was sent on March 9th, 2013. With that in mind, could you please pull up Defendant's Exhibit 161?
Like with that in mind, like them like patching things up. Isn't this like a cycle that people go through? Especially in abusive relationships, there's sort of like a the abuse period and then the lovey-dovey
Can you scroll? Yeah, no, here we go.
recovery period. Yeah, right. So I don't know what this proves. And often, like, and even when it comes to like this lawyer talking about drugs, like
Did you
he's
see
come off as
four texts
really
or five texts up from the bottom. There's a text exchange between
uninformed, let's say. Like he's a fed.
you and Miss Heard. You see that?
Yes, I do.
And this is sent on March 12th, 2013.
Okay, yes, sir.
Which,
see
if
if
I'm
I can-
doing my calculation right, was Tuesday, March 12th, 2013. And in the top text, you write, just thought you should know that there exists a book titled Disco Bloodbath. That's all. You see that? Did I read that right?
Yes, you did.
Your Honor, I'd move to move for
Psychoviolence,
the admission
yeah.
of this exhibit with those texts.
When you say those texts, which ones? Just
Those four. The text exchange between Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard.
okay. Any objection to that?
We have no objection to the omission of the
Here,
four text
you can see the
messages between
lawyer now.
Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard on
So
that
if you
date.
make those redactions?
Yeah.
Bring that down a bit. Yeah, I can see that. It's not a really good shot of him, but there you go. There's the lawyer. Sorry, I've been covering him up. I just realized. Thought he was in frame. Okay, next question.
With the redaction?
Redactions
So-
done.
We'll just focus on the text. So we can see the top text is from you to Ms. Heard. And you say, just thought you should know that there exists a book titled Disco Bloodbath. That's all. And Amber wrote you back and said,
Disco
we need that book,
Bloodbath?
exclamation point. And you wrote back and said, is it about last Friday night? by any
Objection.
chance? I'm sorry. I got it wrong.
I think you're yeah.
Amber writes you and says, we need that book. And then she writes you and says, is it about last Friday night by any chance? And you write, how can you make me smile about such a hideous moment? Yes, it is. Funny bitch. I fucking love you, you cunt.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Gotta warn me before you say stuff like that. The cycle of violence refers to repeated and dangerous acts of violence as a cyclical pattern associated with high emotions and doctrines of retribution or revenge. The pattern or cycle repeats and it has 4 stages: tension, incident, reconciliation, and calm. Yeah, nice. Whoa, smart people in the chat. Holy shit.
You wrote that on Tuesday, March 12th, 2013.
Thank you.
Referring to the previous Friday night, March 8th, 2013, correct?
I believe that this subject, I sent her that text that there exists a book called Disco Bloodbath from a bookstore that I was in. She said we need the book.
What is this book?
Asked me about if it was about last Friday. I believe that I have a very different opinion of what that Friday was than you do.
A Fabulous But True Tale of Murder in Clubland is a 1999 memoir written by James St. James about his life as a Manhattan celibutante. I don't know what a celibutante is, but somebody who's celibutante? Celebrity for no clear reason. Oh, wow. Famous for being famous? Yo, that's like just an influencer, right? Is that just an influencer? It talks about the party scene. Interesting. Gone out of print, though.
Well, your counsel can ask you about that, and I'm sure
Indeed,
Ms. Heard
well, I
will
think that's
testify
when
to
we'll
that.
get into that. Yes.
But my question to you is, you're referring to such a hideous moment. You're responding to Ms. Heard's text is it about last Friday night by any chance? Isn't that right?
That's what she's asking me.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
You can take that down, please.
But he didn't confirm. He didn't confirm it was about last Friday night. She just asked a question.
Bless you.
You notice that he didn't say God bless you. So, do we even know he's Christian? Is he really a Southern gentleman? I don't know. I have my doubts, everybody.
We're going to enter this into evidence, sir?
Yep.
Evidence. Thank you. Now you can publish it.
Oh, that's loud. Sorry.
What happened? What happened? Nothing happened this morning, you know that?
Were you in here?
No.
So then nothing happened to you this morning?
Yeah, you're right. I just woke up and you were so sweet and nice. We were not even fighting this morning. All I did was say sorry.
Did something happen to you this morning? I don't think so.
No, that's the thing.
You want to see crazy? I'll give you fucking crazy. That's crazy. Oh, you're crazy. Oh, you're crazy.
Have you drunk this whole thing this morning?
Oh, you got this going? You got this going? Oh, really? Really? See that shit on me,
No,
motherfucker?
I didn't. You were smashing shit.
Oh, bye.
Whoa. It was a video? You said, Lacey? I don't know how to find that specific. I mean, it doesn't sound violent. It sounds like he's... I mean, it sounds like he's pissed the fuck off. And he's clearly, like, going to the drink as, like, a coping mechanism and is very defensive. It's also pretty... Well, I don't know, like, aggro? Like, the recording thing? That's intense as well. I'm curious to see the video. Yikes. Johnny fears no God. Fears no God.
That's your house
Illegally recorded tape.
Maybe you're just simping, Lacey. The cell phone was placed between wine bottles and the clanking is from that. Really? But at the smashing. There were smashing noises. He's so drunk on the video. Well, yeah, there you go. It's not a good thing. Okay, let's... I'll look for it in the background.
Date or metadata or anything like that.
Why don't we, since you have some questions about it, why don't we watch it again?
Oh, I've
Play
seen
it
it.
again, please, Michelle. Okay, you know what, we don't have to do that. We don't have to do that.
I've seen it plenty.
This is at your house in West Hollywood on Sweetser Avenue, correct?
Hurl's Wine
And that's you
Glass.
and
And TMZ published it. I wonder how long ago TMZ published it. They're like content demons. Absolute content. Oh, this might actually get... I don't know if I can even show this. Just because...
What happened?
No, I found it. I've just gotta like... She's like kind of blocking it. He's getting some booze. He looks pretty drunk. Oh, he's clanging things.
Nothing happened this morning. You know that? Yeah, you're right. I just woke up. Then you.
I think I like to keep it like fair use. I have to give some amount of commentary.
Never say sorry.
Couple
Did
seconds.
something happen to you this morning? I don't think so.
Okay.
No, that's the thing.
You want to see crazy? I'll give you fucking crazy.
And she puts the fucking thing in front of... Is she like
Oh,
constantly...
you're crazy.
Constantly trying to...
Oh, you're crazy.
Have you drunk this whole thing this morning?
Oh, you got this going? You got this going? Oh, really?
Oh my god. I hate this. This is so stupid. This is the worst arc. I can't believe I'm on this arc. Oh man.
video, Mr. Depp, right?
That's correct, sir.
And you would agree that
Oh, so yeah, that was copyrighted. I can't have that going. So yeah, I'm sorry, YouTube. I turned it off. Oh, yeah. I guess TMZ, like, yeah, it's copyrighted. So I can't like show that stuff. I'm sorry. I won't do it again, YouTube. Please don't clap me.
you were violent in that clip, correct?
Clearly, I was.
Amber Heard is one calculated, vile person. She tries to perform an act in court, but her eyes don't lie. Laura, the one thing I read before I got into this, and it was something that I'm going to have to continuously say, we cannot read people's minds based off of their facial expressions. Just, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So let's reserve some judgment here. But yeah, this is the definition of a toxic relationship. I don't know. Welcome to the stream, by the way.
Time. I don't know what it was with regard to completely at this point, since I don't know the date. But being illegally recorded by your chosen
Wait, it's saying temporary audio? No, go away.
other is Well, it's quite fitting with the rest of the photographs and tape recordings she made. So I thought what was most interesting is
Poop. Well done, Sunday Monday. Sunday Monday, you have absolutely elevated the stream. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
tried to hide it from me, and then that she laughed and smiled at the end. I thought that was the most interesting part myself. But so yes,
You didn't
I
react.
did assault a couple of cabins, but I did not touch Miss Heard.
And-
As you can see, I think. You know,
And you may have been drunk in that video, correct?
there's a possibility of that, yes, sir.
You poured yourself a mega pint of red wine.
A mega pint, everybody. Not just your standard pint of wine. You know when you go to the pub and you say, barkeep, I need me a the regular pint of wine just isn't cutting it. I've had a rough day. I need me some mega pints, okay? 2 of them on the double. Let's go.
A mega pint. I poured myself a large glass of wine.
Right.
There you
If
go.
necessary.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There you go.
Well,
Yeah, I know, right?
let's look at UK.
No, don't use it because then we'll get the MAGA pint, and then all hell will break loose.
101, please.
101.
Yeah, this is day 1.
Oh, now that we slowed it down.
You see there at line 5. Do you have the page up?
I don't see 101 yet, sir. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. Take your time.
I've got a
Speed it up a bit again.
bushel here. 101. Sorry.
Here come the tears.
It's in the volume for day 1.
Damn, Laura.
Yes, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. It's
Damn.
all, it's a bit of a jumble.
Damn,
sorry.
Laura.
Page 101, is that what you like?
Yes, sir.
You're going in hard.
And just
I mean, this is kind of a scary scene. I don't know. It's like in the morning, drunk as fuck.
you seem amused by the terminology. You were asked the question you were
But I did miss all of the damning evidence that was unveiled yesterday, so maybe that's the problem here.
drunk. I'm going to suggest. What do you say to that? Answer. I may have been.
Where are we, sir?
Line 5.
Thank you.
Question. You were drunk. I'm going to suggest. What do you say to that? Answer. I may have been. I do not recall. The chances are very good that I was if I was upset. Question. We saw you pour a sort of answer mega pint. Question, mega pint of red wine, which is not everybody's choice for breakfast, is it? Answer. No. Did I read that right?
You did.
And you were very, very upset in that video, correct?
I think that's pretty clear, yes, sir.
And you would agree that your behavior in that clip could be intimidating to anyone present in that room, correct?
Objection calls for speculation.
I'll sustain the objection.
You would agree that your behavior was intimidating, correct?
Objection calls for speculation.
All right, I'll sustain the objection.
Now, you're a lot
Wow.
bigger than Amber, correct?
I wouldn't say that.
Would you agree with me that
I wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't say that.
Oh, come on, mate.
would you agree with me that the standards of a Southern gentleman were not in your mind in this particular moment, were they?
Wow. Okay.
I don't know about anyone else, but I have had experiences in my life where one does stray from complete control over their emotions at times, and
True.
that is a very normal, primal thing to do. I did not
Primal to stray
try
from
to
your.
intimidate Ms. Heard. If she was intimidated, why was she filming? If she was scared to death, why didn't she leave?
Can you pull up Exhibit 821, please? Defendant's Exhibit.
That is a good point. I mean, the recording part just kind of paints it in a weird light,
We're going to fast forward in time a little bit, Mr. Depp.
Yes,
like
I feel it.
gathering ammo.
I'd like to direct your attention to the third text down. It's a text message from you to your sister on June 4th, 2016.
Yes, sir.
You see that?
Objection, relevance, Your Honor.
So much hearsay and questions for relevance. No, they approach the bench. Let's fast forward.
Exhibit 157,
Okay, here we go.
11.
157.
157, page 11.
Oh, yeah. Okay, 157. plaintiff's 157.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, getting closer to the
These are text messages that you
meat of
sent
the issue.
to your friend Isaac Baruch, correct?
Yes, and I'll just say that I'm not proud of any of the language that I've used in these anger.
Your Honor, I move for admission of just this page of this exhibit.
Ruh-roh. But it's all pre-planned to get the upper leverage in court. I don't know, Laura. That's speculation. Sustained. Objection. That's speculation. It's hard to say like what someone had in their mind years ago. Like, you know, it's quite the thing to sue someone. Or, from what I understand, she did a piece with People magazine and made those allegations of domestic abuse, and then Johnny sued her. So that's, yeah, I guess at that point she probably knew a court case was coming and had enough like ammunition recordings to sort of like say like, what, come at me, what, and now like he was not shook, like that sort of didn't work, because I think in earlier testimony he mentioned that like they were aware that they were recording each other. There was sort of like a ongoing argument / discussion about like recording each other.
Your Honor, we object on relevance.
And like originally he painted it as like, I want you to hear what you say to me, like what you sound like. Okay, let's skip ahead. Okay, here we go.
You can tell what redactions you're doing.
Sure. Just those middle two texts, please.
All right, plaintiff's 157, page 11. So I guess we'll have 157A. Page 11.
Exhibit.
All right, yes, sir.
Isaac Baruch. The jury's heard from on October 17th, 2016 and October 18th, 2016. Can you just read for the jury that first text?
You'd like me to read that?
Yes, please.
Sure, Mr. Rottenborn. Is the slippery whore that I donated my jizz to staying there?
And can you please read the text under that, please?
Certainly.
No. No. We're not. We can't. I'm sorry, Chad. I'm sorry,
Can you
Chad.
please pull up?
We get the point. He's forcing him to read pretty rude, disgusting things that he said. That might be TOS though, so I'm going to skip over it.
Exhibit 485. Defendant's exhibit.
What is it? Like, be careful what you say because you may one day be forced to eat your words? Yikes. Lawyers.
November 28th, 2015.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of the exhibit with just happy to have all of it, or just Mr. Depp's, depending on what his counsel wants.
Give him a moment to read it.
Of course.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Of course.
So
Reading.
Okay. If you start 4 lines down, you say, and I'm on such a beastly head fuck from earlier that I feel like I won't know what to do or how to be. I feel like I only just continue to piss you off. Believe me, I never want to hurt you, and always have never wanted to hurt you. Never. I don't want to be in that position anymore. Not ever again. I feel pushed, and I push back. I feel hurt. I will hurt back. A fight commences. I will fight back. And obviously so will you. But I can't again to see it coming. It puts us both in some stubborn space where neither of us can hear, much less understand one another's position. Did I read that right?
Yeah, hurt people. Good point. I have to admit the language used in the text is disgusting. Yeah, for sure. Like, he doesn't come off as a shiner here. Like, he's not in total control. He's getting pretty drunk. He's saying some pretty rude shit. But again, I definitely missed. I know that she's also whipped bottles at his head. So, you know, I don't know, man. Allegedly.
Can we pull up Exhibit 186, please?
May I just make a point of clarification for DX 485? It's a multi-page exhibit. Is
it? Okay.
I just want to make sure it's just this page.
It was, yeah, it was just that page.
All right, what page is it?
Page 1 of 8.
So that'll be 485A, page 1.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Myers.
186.
What's the saying? Like, let ye who has no sin cast the first bottle? How's that go?
text exchange between you and Miss Heard on September 6th, 2013, correct?
What's the date?
September 6th, 2013, I believe. You see that in the lower right of the text boxes?
Third, well, from the second one, the top one says September 5th.
Starts on the 5th, right, and then I was looking at the one that starts, thank you for your letter. That's September 6th, correct?
That is September 6th, yes.
Okay. And then if you, Your Honor, I'd move for admission of this document, starting with the text that says, thank you for your letter. And happy to have both texts or not, depending on what Mr. Depp's counsel argues, but thank you for your letter, and then going into the next page.
Okay, so I found the videos that I feel like I've missed out on some context. So I want to hear the audio recording. So apparently this is the moment that the public gets to hear the audio recording that's been going around. So I want to hear this.
I said to Travis, I said...
Okay, here we go.
I said to Travis...
Yeah, I was joking, Lacey. I was just joking. I was just joking.
Travis, I said, no, I said to you, hey, tell Travis what just happened.
I was thinking of those bottle kids from Trailer Park Boys. I'm sorry.
I said, no, I said to you, hey, tell Travis what just happened.
You told me to do it. You told me to. You said, go do that.
I said, no, tell him what just happened.
And I lied.
And that you punched me in the
You're right.
fucking thing. And
You figured it out.
And you said, no, fuck it. No, I didn't. What the fuck are you talking about? And I
didn't
watched
punch
you lie. And then
I didn't punch you, by the way. I'm sorry that I didn't hit you across the face in a proper slap, but I was hitting you. It was not punching you. Babe, you're not punched.
Don't tell me what it feels like to be punched.
Wait, what?
There's been a lot of fights, been around a long time. I know. Yeah.
No, when you fucking have a close
You
fist.
didn't get punched. You got hit. I'm sorry I hit you like this, but I did not punch you. I did not fucking deck you. I fucking was hitting you. I don't know what the motion of my actual hand was. You're fine. I did not hurt you. I did not punch you. I was hitting you.
Bro.
What am I supposed to do? Do this? I'm not sitting here bitching about it, am I? You are. That's the difference between me and you. You're a fucking
She's calling him a little bitch? Are you for real? Oh, how did I miss this? Oh my god, it changes everything.
bitching about it, am I? You are. That's the difference between me and you. You're a fucking baby.
Oh my god.
You're such a baby. Grow the fuck up, Johnny.
Physical fights?
I did start a physical fight.
Yeah, you did, so I had
Because-
to get the fuck out of there.
Yes, you did. So you did the right thing, the big thing. You know what? You are admirable.
There's that southern gentleman. Whoa. 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 How did I miss that? I did not punch you. I was hitting you. That's what lawyers call you done fucked up. You done fucked up hard. If that's like on an audio tape being entered into evidence, oh my goodness. Oh no. Okay, I want to hear, because I missed it. This is pretty vital backstory. At least it's his side of it, right? This is also the allegation that she threw the glass bottle. So yeah, oh, it's 44 minutes long. Jesus.
No, we did not. No.
And why not?
Okay, maybe we sleep on that, but I do want to hear his side of like this. Oh my god, what great. Oh, how did I miss that?
The text that says I have other uses.
Yeah, that's the true gaslighting 101. Oh my goodness. I didn't know like how I was hurting you, but I remember this part. Like, I don't know if it was a closed fist or if I was trying to poke your eye out, but whatever. I didn't actually cause lasting harm. There's no psychological trauma caused by getting hit by your partner. That's not a thing. Jesus.
Could we please scroll down just to see a little further?
Can you scroll down a little bit further? Thank you.
The text message is on the third page through Mr. Depp's text at September 6, 2013 at 8:10 a.m.
Abusers try to rename the abusive action to minimize it. Classic. Yeah, I've heard of Darvo. Deny. Oh God, is it Darvo? Yeah, deny accuse, the accuser, and reverse victim and offender. DARVO, I think. Yeah, it's like this acronym to describe a common tactic. That was pretty damning, you know.
No objection to that. That's fine.
All right, so it's
Especially given that, like, we've been struggling to sort of understand what this guy's, like, line of questioning is, and especially, like, how he tried to just slip in that Johnny was the one who had severed his own finger, and he's, like, raising a big eyebrow, like, wait, what?
Defendant's Exhibit 186, pages 1 through 3, then as redacted, is that correct? Okay.
Okay.
Counsel can see, and the court can see if the redactions are right. Publish. Yeah, there we go.
Entering in more
so Mr. Depp,
evidence.
on September 6th,
Here we go.
2013, you send Miss Heard a text that says, "Thank you for your letter. I love you."
Yes,
Scroll
that's
down.
correct.
She writes, "Thank you for mine." Did I read that right?
You did.
And then you write, "The only reason we go for the throat is love." Did I read that right?
You did.
And then she writes, "My throat is yours. You're going to be the death of me, but I don't care.
Wow.
I have other uses for your throat, which do not include injury. I have other
Hey, Black Flag Pirate Jack. I'm just gonna call you Pirate Jack.
uses for your throat, which do not include injury."
Sorry, could you read that again?
How's it going?
These are your words, sir, right? I read that right, correct?
You did.
You can take that down.
It's definitely
Pull up Exhibit 483, please.
been quite some ups and downs.
This is a journal that you and Amber would write to each other in, correct? It's a picture of a journal, right?
That's correct.
And this is an entry that you made on looks like September 27th, 2015. Is that right?
That's correct.
And if, Your Honor, I'd move for, is there another page below it? Okay, I'd move for the admission of these two pages as Exhibit 483A.
Any objection?
No objection.
All right, 43, and that's the first and second page of that exhibit, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, 1 and 2, okay. All right, in evidence, you can
Permission to publish?
publish.
Moving on, let's go.
And if you can scroll down, Michelle, to the bottom that starts with "I love and adore you," please.
Watch Amber Heard being interviewed
Mr. Depp,
by
you
the
write in this
police.
journal, and just to be clear, this journal is something that you and Amber would write notes to each other in. That the
Man, people are really starting to pull out like all the records, eh? She's such a slob. Okay, I mean, yeah, okay. We're not big believers in the whole clean your room philosophy here on the Be Weird broadcast, I'm gonna say.
everyone would be supposed to read, correct?
Messy genius.
Yes, we wrote notes to each other for each other to read.
And you wrote, "I love and adore you. I can't express how sorry I am for having stooped so low as to have spewed such vicious untruths for the sole purpose of hurting you. I am far from being proud of myself for such a," next page, "grievous error. Shameful. I will
Damn.
never allow myself to resort to such disgraceful and odious behavior, no matter what." Did I read that right?
You did.
I mean, it just sounds like they're pulling up as evidence a bunch of texts of Johnny Depp showing contrition and guilt. Like, I'm trying to do better. I'm struggling with addiction. It's just been my
Please
read.
pull up audio tape 396.
I mean, he doesn't come off like terribly good.
Has that already been entered in
I mean,
evidence?
I wouldn't date him.
396.
Is it plaintiff's or defendant's exhibit? Sorry.
Knowing what you know now, would you date Johnny Depp?
I'm told we think it's plaintiff's exhibit.
Plaintiff's exhibit 396, has it been in evidence? No.
Huh? Is the fame really all worth it?
And this is another one of those, Your Honor, that I'm pretty sure is just between the two, but I'd like to confirm.
All right, so 396A, which part are you playing?
7093.
All right,
Document.
Fuck this.
Oh, here we go.
I'm not.
Did he lie about finger cut off? Did he do it himself? So we missed it. I missed like his version of events, and I really do want to hear the full story. But even from the version that Amber Heard's lawyers gave, it did not make any sense. But basically, the lawyer was really focused on how his fingers, they were getting into an argument and his fingers were like layered over like some bench he was holding or some table, and she was whipping bottles at him apparently. He's like pushing back in the cross examination. He was like, oh yeah, but remember, she was throwing bottles at me. And apparently one of these bottles hit his finger, and then he dipped it in like, they're still arguing, I guess he didn't realize, and he dipped it into like paint thinner and started drawing all over like the mirror or something like that. It's really kind of confusing. And then he realizes he's a bloody mess. They go to the hospital, yada, 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 yada. So yeah, from Johnny's perspective, a bottle was whipped at him and that's what caused his finger to be severed. But from Amber's perspective, she threw a bottle at him and caused it to be severed. But they're like really trying to dwell on these like texts he sent to his doctor, be like, yo doc, I chopped my finger off, what do I do? And Johnny's like, yeah, I'm cutting Amber out of they don't need to know the details, the fact. You care about truth, right? Well, this is what happened, and yeah, the texts don't exactly say that, so deal with it. So it's been a really fun to watch this lawyer try to thread that needle. Oh, sorry, there's another audio recording. Let's listen. But why paint finger or cut finger? I don't think he realized. I think he was painting a message, and it was like an FU or something, like go enjoy doing your movie with Billy Bob Thornton,
I'm not. You're a cunt. I fucking hate you.
Oh
Fucking hate you. I don't want out. Fuck this. Goodbye.
Oh my god. I just don't like this.
In that portion of the recording, Mr. Depp
Keeps changing his accounts regarding his finger?
tell Amber you're a cunt and you fucking hate her, correct?
Oh, stop with the bad language. Oh. Sorry, content warning. There's going to be someone making mouth noises. Vomit sounds. Ah. Ah. No. Stop. Stop.
So the first clip was at about 7 minutes in. This is at
Gross.
20 minutes in. So that was about 13 minutes later, correct? My math's right?
I don't know. What's the date?
Lol. For
Can you pull
I
up,
got time, but you don't have date.
can you pull up
Also, I bring you such great content. Give a subscribe if you're new here, a like if you're not, and tell a friend. Hooey.
Exhibit 180, please?
Defendants 180?
Yes.
More document.
Expressing her disapproval of your drinking and drug habits.
Okay,
Mr.
here we
Depp,
go.
you did not like Ms. Heard expressing her disapproval of your drinking and drug habits, correct?
He did, yeah, he didn't mention it really. So in his testimony, he never mentioned the paint thinner thing.
Removal went much further than just
I'm not sure what difference it makes, like whether he drew all over the walls or not. I don't think makes a difference. She threw a thing at him. Apparently.
Okay, let's go to the first page of this, please. This is text messages from you to Ms. Heard.
That's what makes these cases so difficult, right? Like you just get two wildly different versions of events.
Looks like July 9th, 2013. Do you see that?
Yes.
And is it just 2 pages? Okay, 3. Your Honor, I'd move for the admission of Defendant's Exhibit 180.
Any objection, or you need to look at the 3 pages?
Yeah, I think we saw the first two. Could we just see the third?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
All right, no objection, 180 in evidence. Is there any redactions needed?
I don't believe so.
No
Your Honor.
identifier?
It doesn't appear to be.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's also crazy, like how many receipts they both like happen to have. Like, holy cow, the recordings,
Steve here, Mr. Depp, that's
the
what Ms.
texts,
Heard referred to you as, correct?
so much
So
evidence.
you referred to her as Slim, right?
Yeah, yes, that's correct.
And so you text her rears, tears, beers, shears, sapphires, leers, jeers, queers, hears, fakirs, mouseketeers, ears. I can go all night, DJ Maxi Pad. The old vintage motherfucker you went for, dumbass. Did I read that right?
I was signing off as dumbass.
And then below that, you write, don't call me again and do not expect anything from me. You see that?
Wow.
Did I read that right?
Yikes.
You really did.
Let's
You
go
really
to the next
did.
page, please. Eat salad with your equine, AD, bovine yerps. And thanks for the support. Have a great shoot. You sicken me.
Wow.
Leave me fucking be, Officer Squarehead. Your display of guilt and matronliness as a lesbian camp counselor was plenty. The future is on display. Best of luck.
Photos of his
Best
finger
of luck.
paintings.
Thank you for the correction. Best if luck.
You're welcome.
Best if luck. He corrects him on the fucking typo. That's so petty. I love
Best
it.
of luck.
Best if luck.
Thank you for the correction. Best if luck.
You're welcome.
And thanks for the tunes. Bye, JD. Don't call again. I will begin to feel embarrassed for you. Go away, coach.
So stupid.
Done. Did I read that right?
No.
Other
Go
than-
away, coach. Done. Hup. Done.
Thank you. Otherwise, did I read that right?
Sure.
You
This
agree
is how you can tell Johnny's is getting a little pissed off at this lawyer.
that referring to Amber as a lesbian camp counselor is a highly offensive reference to make, correct?
What's the date here? 2013. It wasn't as considered as egregious. There was a bit more. Understanding about terms. Amber also called herself a lesbian camp counselor many times.
Oh,
So
well, so
I don't think I'm the first to say that.
You'd agree that
Oh.
there's nothing appropriate about referring to your girlfriend or fiance as that in those disparaging terms in that text, correct?
Objection compound.
wait, what?
You'd agree that you meant the terms in your text as an insult because you didn't like the fact that she was disapproving of your alcohol and drug habits. Isn't
Objection
that right?
compound.
Compound
There was
question.
nothing
No,
at
you don't
all.
have to answer that, sir.
Sorry.
Next question.
If you can go up one page, please. You told her,
This guy-
you sicken me. Leave me fucking be, Officer Squarehead, correct?
Yes.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I mean, so far it's just been like he's been a shitty husband who's just shitty. Says mean things.
Can you scroll down, please?
Gatai Okay. Pretty
Go up then, please.
pretty shitty dude. I don't know, man.
The text, 22nd.
I feel better about myself.
All right.
You see that?
I'm just a streamer. Like that's how degenerate I'm gonna get. I hope that's hopefully the lowest I get.
I see that.
Your Honor, I'd move for the admission of Defendant's Exhibit 736.
All right, any objections?
Well, the identifiers need to be redacted, and I just want to clarify that.
Cross sucks because you can't come off as a dick to a dick attorney because the jury is there. Yeah, that's a good point. Like you really have to remain composed even as they're like nitpicking. He does have some pretty bad texts about having sex. Oh boy. Yeah, I think I remember seeing that like yesterday. I thought I was gonna get clapped. They're recording each other. Hello, will there be a trial today? Yeah, actually in 5 minutes, it might be going on again and we'll probably switch to it. Welcome to the stream, Amir.
The 3 pages we scrolled to.
No.
3 pages.
Sure, let's take a
Monday?
look at them right now.
Laura, the next one's Monday? Okay, so there's your answer. Thank you.
It's just those 2 pages.
Oh, 2 pages or 3 pages?
It's just 2.
Oh, if it's just these 2, then that's fine.
I'll, of course, double check. It's like my job here, I guess. Moving forward.
All. Nothing.
Okay, here we go.
You write to Ms. Heard the day after the incident on May 21st, 2016. Just let me know when you have a minute, and I'll give you a call. Nothing I have to say to you should elicit anything but a sense of ease. All my love and profound apologies, Jay. Did I read that right?
You did.
Can we go to 771, please?
Yeah, I don't see like a premiere, so I'm going to take Laura at her word that it's next Monday.
Mr. Depp, is this a text message from you?
Yeah, this is very much like textbook character assassination. Just trying to go after him as hard as possible, paint him as a bad guy.
To Ms. Heard on
So that we forget about the bottle throwing.
2nd, 2016.
Wild. Just wild.
Yes, that seems to be the case, yes.
Thank you.
Thank
Your
you.
Honor, I'd move for admission of this exhibit with identification.
Okay.
And on May
evidence.
22nd, 2016, you wrote the text that we just saw. You also texted Ms. Heard, sorry if was a bit. Please know that my hurt toward you is over. My apologies are eternal and belong to you. Solid X. Did I read that right?
You did.
Can we please pull up Exhibit 587? And Your Honor, this is an audio recording that it will take about 5 or 6 minutes, so it might take us toward the end of the day.
5 or 6 minutes. Whoa.
An audio recording is agreed.
Is this plaintiff's or defendant's?
It's confirmed. You and Ms. Heard, Mr. Depp, before
Some
before
context
we move on,
here?
you and Ms. Heard saw each other in July of 2016.
Officer Squarehead.
One final time.
Stop.
Correct?
Stop.
You testified to that, right?
No
Saw each
bullying
other
in the
San
chat.
Francisco,
Yeah,
right?
yes, we
Okay.
did.
All right.
I'm still not sure if that was the final time. I believe the last time I saw her was in her divorce attorney's office when the agreement was signed.
This lawyer comes off as if square. Oh my god.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. It's 586. Sorry. It's the
same video that you're discussing, just the wrong number?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
so-
Your Honor. And what I would propose to play is 3210 to with your permission.
Okay. Document submission.
Move.
Okay, let's play this.
I mean, I might have made a move.
That was probably my fault.
Oh, my ears. Ew. What are we listening to?
This is really pretty. Do I want to cut you?
Just, we want to start.
Don't cut your skin. Please do not cut your skin. Please don't. Why would I do that?
It's easy.
Don't. Please do not do that. Please do not do that. No, please don't. Please don't cut yourself.
Court is adjourned to Monday. That's what the judge said. Okay, cool.
You don't need to cut yourself.
I need to do what I want.
I know. I know it hurts. It feels sick.
Oh my god. Content warning, everybody.
No, thank you. No, thank you. There's sperm on the pillows.
Ew. Ew.
You know I will.
Come.
Spitzer will answer this because he's a fucking conservative prick.
Don't. Please don't. Don't cut yourself. Please don't.
Oh, jeez. Don't.
Please, I know it hurts.
I am not enjoying this.
I would never do that to you. Please don't.
No, pussy.
No, please.
Yeah, you fucking hate me. Come on.
Oh, gosh.
No problem. You want-
No, no, no.
Not on your own. Not on your own.
Don't do it, Johnny.
Happy cup. Gee. Just gonna go to court. Isn't it tough?
To me, it's really tall.
I have to get the shot card.
Lol, he wants to. I think?
Don't.
Don't you tell me.
Please don't do that. Put the knife down.
Oh my
Just
god.
put the fucking knife down. Don't do that. Do not do that, Johnny. Please, you're
I
gonna
wanna look at you.
You're gonna hurt yourself. Please
I want
stop.
to look at you.
I know you're in pain. Wait. Stop. Please
There's a
don't.
way for the pain to go away.
It's not. It's not that. It doesn't make it go away. Trust me.
Oh.
I do know. It doesn't make it go away.
Really?
Did it make it go away?
Yeah.
It did. Please don't do that. Okay.
Oh no, this is dark. This is like this is self-harm, it sounds like. Especially him saying like it makes the pain go away, like it gives you attention and release. To displace the emotional pain onto physical pain. The stuff that's inside gets to be on your body, on your outside, and the pain you can understand. It comes and then it goes. This is pretty intense. Yeah. Oh.
There's love here. There's love here. Over here. I have no other reason to be here.
It sounds like she's trying to talk him back from the ledge. And she was recording him at this whole time? Cutting himself made pain go away? He said it did? I don't know if he's done it before, but it strongly implies he has, yeah. I mean, he testified that he had an abusive...
The knife is really dull, and it would be the worst thing in the world to use to cut me with. It would be too painful and dull and dirty to use it.
That's the tip of it.
Is she trying to help him find
Right?
a sharper...
It's pretty. No, please do not. Don't. You're gonna hurt yourself. Don't. It's okay.
Ugh.
Please don't cut yourself. Please don't. Please stop. Please stop. Please. Don't hurt yourself, please.
No, I won't hurt myself at all.
Oh. He won't hurt himself at all, he said.
Your Honor, I think that might, if it's okay with Your Honor, I
asked her to
find
cut
something
him.
else.
Next time. Okay, I assume you still have quite a bit cross, or
A bit. I'm not exactly sure.
all right, but more than what you
Whoa.
Yes.
do. Okay, all right, that's fine. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we've come to the end of our...
Sheesh. What'd you think, chat? That was very intense, but I don't have a clear image of what was happening. Especially how it ended, where it's like, I will not hurt myself. It sounded like he was attacking the wall. Okay, I want to hear his version of events about this finger thing. After putting him on the edge, don't do it.
Seemed to be some reason, and otherwise she
Yeah, that was heavy.
wouldn't discuss.
Why
it, or
would
if
she
we did discuss
record
it,
this?
It became an issue that would turn into a.
That's the part I'm still struggling with. Like, that's somebody, like, someone who's in real serious mental health issues. Like, either you're there for it or you are not. Like, I think she wanted to believe she was there for it, but clearly she was not.
It would springboard into unpleasantness and then arguments. And then it was also too late. At a certain point, it was just too late. So then the idea of a post-nup agreement was brought up to Miss Heard, and that was in Australia. That was the beginning of the Australian.
Well, let's
fight.
talk about Australia then. But first of all, why were you in Australia?
Right.
I was working on Pirates of the Caribbean 5.
And who from your team was with you in Australia?
Jerry Judge, Malcolm Connolly, Nathan Holmes, Stephen Duders, Keenan Wyatt. I believe that was it. Oh, and no, that's it.
Was Miss Lloyd in Australia with you as well?
Oh, yes, sorry, yes. Miss Lloyd traveled to Australia with us.
She keeps trying to provoke him?
And did Dr. Kipper come down to Australia at any point?
Yeah, Dr. Kipper came down a bit later.
Mr. Wyatt testified yesterday that he observed you have a meeting with Sean Bailey in Australia. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And could you please tell the jury who Sean Bailey is?
Sean Bailey, at that time, I believe he was the number three man at Disney in terms of hierarchy. He was upper echelon Disney, so he was under
Disney, the company that just lost its special state status because the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, pushed the Republican Party to revoke that special privilege. I don't think corporations should have that tax privilege, but it's interesting to see Disney get clapped around by Republicans. It's a weird tangent, but here we go.
Bob Iger.
Classic Amber move. Okay.
Initially under Dick Cook, who was
going
removed from
swastika.
Disney, for some reason. So yes, he was number 3 man at Disney.
And why were you having a discussion with Mr. Bailey?
The discussions that I was having with Mr. Bailey, with Sean Bailey, were they had to do with, well,
doing good.
As I think we've established,
It's been an interesting arc. I'm thinking tomorrow I'm going to go cover the Freedom Convoy that might be coming to Montreal. So that could be a really interesting, like, IRL stream. Hopefully I can pull it off. Seems like a lot of work, but maybe it works. Could be interesting.
I have always, from the beginning of that series of films, I had always rewritten my characters' words and jokes, if you will, and situational comedy and things that I would add. And Mr. Bailey was very complimentary about
Montreal.
Some of the things that I'd done.
That's where I'm streaming from.
He'd come over to me laughing after a take.
Calls for hearsay.
Your Honor, this is just discussing generally what they were talking about.
You can get specific. I'll sustain that if you want to continue. That's fine.
Mr. Depp, was Miss Heard in Australia with you?
Because, like, there's a bunch of processing that has to happen. I think you remember, Jack, it being mentioned, like, how they had to redact a bunch of documents and submit them. Then that's what's happening probably right now. Like, there's a bunch of new submission of evidence that was brought up in trial, and then, like, the attorneys had to kind of go over it and say, like, oh, wait, this is good and that's not. I'm guessing. I'm not a lawyer.
She came a little later, yes.
Do you recall when she came down?
Yeah.
I don't recall. Well.
Freedom.
No, I do recall. It was March. It was March.
And what happened when Miss Heard came to visit you in Australia?
Ms. Heard was upset because, as I stated earlier, as it was too late for a prenup agreement, there was a discussion of post-nup agreement.
Too late for a prenup. Oh, geez.
And I had called my lawyer at the time and asked him if he could have one of his lawyers sit down with
Yeah, of course I know who XQC is.
Ms. Heard and give her a basic rundown of.
I mean, what do you mean? What do you mean? Fucking how do I not know what XQC? I actually can't do his voice. He's got a really hard voice to emulate. But I much prefer it when he speaks francophone, like Joao. Like that's a lot of fun to listen to.
Meant and I was told that they showed her.
Objection, hearsay.
I'm not nearly as broken or smooth brained to be as successful as XQC. I don't know.
Your Honor, this is something he asked an attorney. It's not a statement of fact that's being offered for its truth.
No, of course not. Of course not. There's no way. I don't even think he is in Montreal right now, isn't he? Yeah, it wouldn't matter. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, oh hey X. He's always in his room, always streaming, like 24 hours a day. Like, what do you want? And knock on his door. Oh, hi. I'm also a streamer. Yeah, he's in LA, man. That's what I thought. Elon Musk banged Amber? That's I've only seen that reported on like pretty sussy sources. I don't know about that one.
What did Ms. Heard tell you she was upset about when she arrived in Australia?
Ms. Heard told me that the attorney that she met with was rude and dismissive, and all she was being shown was an example of
Rude
a postnuptial agreement.
Rude and
Ms. Heard then
dismissive.
stated to me that she was very upset. She stated to me that
It's all about money. All of this could have easily been settled out of court, but they're both petty. I mean, I don't strongly
that
disagree.
what she had said was, she said to the lawyer, the woman, that this Johnny can't. He must not. He doesn't know about this. He's never seen. He doesn't know that this is what this is. No way he would agree to this. And what Ms. Heard then expressed to me was that the lawyer, the woman, had laughed at her and said, "Oh, he knows. Yes, he knows everything." Which sent her into a tailspin.
Amber from
So by the time
Johnny's
she
name
arrived
up?
in Australia, that was
Well, that's
sunk
the
very
real
deep into-
question, right? Like, he can make his argument that they had a messed up relationship, but whether he lost money because of what she said, without mentioning him by name in People magazine, is the real bridge to cross. Can he show in court that she defamed him? Like, that's a tough bridge to cross.
To her.
You think it's for certain?
I mean, so much so that what really surprised me was that she kept saying, "I'm not even in your will."
100%.
I'm not even in your will.
Not even in your will.
I thought that was an odd thing to say.
That is pretty odd to say.
Especially since I don't think anybody had time to change wills or anything of that nature.
He had contracts the movies
So
turned down
for
because of
those
the
things just
claims. How do you know that part is true? So you use the word because there, but how do you know for a fact that the movies turned down because of her claims? That's the hard part, because, companies don't have to admit specifically, why they might have severed the contract or whatever reason. Exactly, right? Like, that's his assertion. And we're all kind of waiting to see what he has to back up those words.
It felt wrong, and she could not let go of the fact that I was in on this post-nup agreement, and that I was trying to trick her.
Yeah, it would make sense.
Into essentially getting nothing if something were to happen.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's unreasonable, but in the same way that, like, the lawyer for Amber Heard was trying to paint Johnny as having this cocaine box, like, yeah, he might have put cocaine in it once, but that doesn't mean that it always contained cocaine. And it's kind of like one of those things where, like, you can only get so close to the truth until you need, like, the next piece of evidence to help, like, open up. Like, for instance, listening to that recording of Amber admitting that she beat Johnny. Like, that's now opens up a whole new set of questions you never could have asked before, because you didn't have that evidence to show that she was aware she was doing the thing. Yeah. He said before that Disney heard her claims for 2 years before that second op-ed.
How did you respond to Ms. Heard?
So I just told her those were not my intentions. And at a certain point, you don't know what to do. I mean, the person is telling you, she's telling you, you don't trust me, you don't trust me, you don't trust me. And I can't speak about legal documents. I can't speak legalese. I can't explain to her these things. All I could do was try to calm her down and say that I was not out to screw her over or put her in a position that was uncomfortable.
Did that work?
These were stock.
Did that
normal
work?
things to do. It did not work. No, it escalated and escalated, and it turned into madness, chaos, violence.
Can you please describe that chaos and violence?
Okay, here we go. This is the part I missed.
Yes, she was irate. She was irate, and she was possessed.
Possessed.
And when I tried to remove myself, as I normally would from a situation, and that is to say, as she's hammering me with
Yeah, it's been escalated so bad by Amber Heard, which I feel bad for Johnny, but this could have easily been prevented from the start. Again, it's all money. Yeah, I mean, money is power. So when your ego is being slighted and you have a lot of power,
sort of brutal words and I don't, pardon my language, but I remember that it wasn't nice sort of being called an ass kisser to lawyers or
also they're trying to really trigger Johnny, probably thinking you have an outburst of some sort that will back up Amber's claims. You think so? I don't know, man. These people are, what is he, like this court case is 6 years in the making for Johnny? I think that speaks volume of them not having close enough to enough evidence to overthrow him as of now. I was kind of focused more on like some of the slippery stuff that Amber's lawyer was doing, like trying to skip over the part that he severed his own finger, like based off of some text he sent to a doctor. So yeah, he definitely seems like he has a stronger case even at this point.
A pussy that didn't fight for her or stand up for her.
Man, the threesomes would have been wild with them. Can you imagine?
Again, tried to remove myself from the situation.
Marilyn Manson,
but to no avail.
Over that.
As I literally, the house that they had rented for me in Australia was quite a large place. It was quite a bit of a labyrinth, and a lot of rooms, a lot of extra rooms. So I would go to, well, I'll just cut to the chase. I think that I ended up locking myself in about at least 9 bedrooms, bathrooms.
Yikes.
That day, as she was banging on the doors and screaming obscenities and
Yo.
wanting to have a physical altercation.
Yeah, I seriously can't wait because he's been holding up very well.
So how did it come to be that your finger became injured?
Okay, here we go.
There was at one point where I'd stayed in one of the, sitting on a bathroom floor, door locked, she's banging away, screaming, blah, 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 and then suddenly she stopped, and I could hear her walk away. I could hear her sort of receding into the distance, if you will, and
I think the court case is definitely worth it as of now. All of the internet is taking Johnny's side, it seems, which is a big contradiction to how it used to be. What do you mean, contradiction to how it used to be? Because, like, I think what's interesting about this story is that it's the exception to the rule, but I don't think it's disproving the rule that, like, men are normally the ones who do the domestics. Like I think that's what's intriguing about this story is that we have so few cases of like the opposite happening in public media. We were really getting to get into the meat of it. There was Terry Crews, of course, not long ago, who discussed openly his experiences with being a victim of sexual assault. But they're still rare, and I think that's what's interesting. But we can't forget, like, that doesn't mean it doesn't mean the exception disproves the rule. It's still like, yeah. I'm sorry, dudes still suck. I'm sorry. I think you're trying too hard to be a lawyer. You're a civilian boy. Okay, yeah, I'm a civvy. I mean, lawyers are civilians too. So I don't know what you mean by that was good. But welcome to the stream. That's because of the Me Too movement.
Yes.
Chill, Swaps.
Became very emotional because you can't win for losing. There's nothing I could do to make her understand that I had, if that lawyer had in fact done that, and I did call my lawyer at the time, Jake Bloom, and I had him get these people on the phone, and I'm ashamed to say that I...
Racism? What do you mean racism?
had taken,
You doing
at
okay?
that point when I was on the phone with him, I had taken Miss Heard's words to heart. And
Me Too discriminates against men? Is that something you're saying is true, or are you asking me if I think that's true? Lol, Me Too for men. Here's the reality. Ew, no, of course not. No, of course not. I wouldn't use the N-word. What are you talking about?
I laid out a ration of I was very upset that she was pushed to that limit, because
Me Too still is good. It was one of the largest movements for gender equity, which is still like a problem in many countries. Blown out of proportion, though. I think like it's really important to realize, like, if you really dig into this issue, like, ever go down the road of looking into like rape kits and how that stuff gets assessed, like state by state, there's some, yeah, you go down that road, you're gonna be like, oh, the patriarchy's real, you know? Like, you're like, why aren't these are all allegations of crimes? Why aren't we investigating this shit? Like, what's going on? Like, dig there and like really, really pull the string on why that kind of stuff is happening, and helps you understand like why Me Too was so broadly accepted. You know,
believed it, and in fact, none of it had happened. So
was good with flaming me in chat. Oh shit!
It was all getting too crazy, and again, I've been sober for many, many months from alcohol and substances, aside from the marijuana.
Yeah, marijuana doesn't count.
And I left the place, the room that I was hiding in, or not hiding, locked myself into, and I went downstairs in the house. Downstairs in the house, as soon as you walk in the house, you can go upstairs or downstairs. Downstairs there was a sort of a rec area, pool table and such, and there was a bar. And I was a mess. I was a wreck. I was shaking, and I just didn't understand why all this was happening. So I went behind the bar.
Jack
I grabbed a bottle of vodka that was there.
Yes, Lara, I understand Jack Sparrow is on trial.
Shot glass, and sat at the bar. She was nowhere around.
It's nothing sacred.
Poured myself 2 or 3 stiff shots of the vodka. First taste of alcohol I'd had in a long time, and then she came down to the bar and found me there, and of course started screaming, "Oh, you're drinking again, the monster," and all that.
Oh my God!
So she walked up to me and reached and grabbed the bottle of vodka, and then just kind of stood back and then hurled it at me, and it
Whoa!
It just went.
She burned all the rum? Did I miss that? Did I just totally skip on that, Loud Tyrant Youth? Did I just like not hear it? She burned all the rum?
It was smashed behind me.
I'm focused on the bottle throwing. It makes me think of Trailer Park Boys with the bottle kids. So his life is ruined. He can't make. Well, this is what the suit is about. We're gonna find out. Like, if he wins, she did do something wrong, right? Isn't that from Pirates? Oh right. Oh right.
And I walked behind the bar.
What about the
rum?
rum?
A larger bottle of vodka, the kind with the handle, on it.
Pirate drinking
vodka.
vodka.
I sat in my seat again. I opened the bottle and I poured myself a shot. I drank it. Miss Earth was flinging insults left, right, and center, and she then grabbed that bottle and threw that at me.
Yikes!
And the way that the
way
that the bar was situated,
were there Russian pirates?
And where Miss Herb was, so if
you know what, I'm gonna make a prediction. In the next 10 to 20 years, the Arctic, the ice will melt so much in the Arctic North that we will see Russian pirates. They will be mercenary troops going to go get oil from the ocean reserves and to pipe it back to Russia surreptitiously under secret, and we'll have our first instances of Russian pirates invading Canadian waters. You heard it here first.
So if this is the bar where the glass was and the bottles, if this was the bar and I'm sitting here like this, she would grab the bottle and she would go there. She went there. And so was leaning like this in the chair,
Okay.
looking at her. First bottle went, then got the other bottle, shot.
Whoa.
Takes the second bottle, which was the larger one.
I mean, yeah, that's what you do, right? Someone throws a bottle at you, that's the Giga Chad move, right? You just take a shot. Like, I ain't shook.
I'm in this position again, and my hand is on the edge of the bar, like that, you know, leaning over the fingers, like that, and she threw the large bottle, and it made contact and shattered everywhere.
Oh my god. Scuba pirates.
And
People are really enjoying this Russian pirate idea.
I honestly didn't feel the pain at first at all. I felt no pain whatsoever.
Look at me. I'm captain now. I'm the captain now.
What I felt was, I felt heat. I felt heat, and I felt as if something were dripping down my hand, you know. And then
So wait, is he actually not going to mention all this paint thinner stuff? Like drawing on, I guess it just doesn't matter?
looked down and realized that the tip of my finger had been severed. And
Yikes.
I was looking directly at my bone
Find me one person who wouldn't do what Johnny did. Don't cap. We're all psychos.
sticking out. And
Okay, you're a keeper. He did not.
The
He did not. Is Amber Heard having a stroke? I guess. Oh, don't say that, Laura.
meaty portion.
That's what happens when like you feel really sad, but you're trying to keep composed, and just like one part of the sadness is creeping out from the side of your side of your face. You know what I mean? Like it's leaking out. Like I don't care who you are. Sometimes sadness just finds its way.
Of the inside of your finger, and blood was just pouring out.
Everything I
And
say
at
is
that
biased
point-
as fuck. Okay, Swasta.
I think that I went into some sort of
I try to keep like as much. I like having a lot of spicy opinions in my chat because then I can kind of pick and choose. But trying to stay above it, trying to stay reserved, and like trying to like pick exactly where I want to be, like putting my name out there because like everybody's got a spicy take. It's got to be an original spicy take for it to matter, in my opinion.
I don't know what a nervous breakdown feels like, but that's probably the closest that I've ever been. Nothing made sense. And I knew in my mind and in my heart, this is not life. This is not life.
It is though.
No
It is
one
life.
should have to go through this. And as I said, this feeling of nervous being in
All right.
the middle of some sort
Okay, psychologists in the chat, let's maybe tone down the armchair psychology here.
nervous breakdown. I started to write with my blood, in my own blood.
Oh, so he does say it.
On the walls.
Wow.
Little reminders from our past that essentially represented lies that she had told me, lies that I had caught her in.
Right.
And
In vino veritas, but with blood.
and then it is. The
That
next
was a
thing, you know,
joke.
like,
Sorry. Oh.
Amongst all the madness,
Oh, yeah. I mean, allegedly, Laura.
I would again hide in the bathroom or wherever, and I texted Dr. Kipper and I said, "You might want to come over. I've cut my finger off here."
Which finger?
I should be like the lowest common denominator of degeneracy should be me. My chat should not be more degenerate than I am. That's my prayer. That's my hope for the future. Please chat, be slightly less degenerate than me. We can do it, everybody. We could all be our more noble selves.
Or was cut, Mr. Depp?
It's the middle. It's a funny looking one. It's the middle finger here. You can see you can see all the sort of.
Oh wow, yeah. There's a
the-
little stub.
From the
You can't go lower.
initial wound. All these bones up here were crushed, and it looked like Vesuvius, you know. And,
Yikes. Mount
so this-
Vesuvius,
this-
the mountain.
This
Can't
part
go
of my
lower than me. That's so funny.
finger now is so that because of not having use of the tip here, this is basically
Right, raised to
arthritis
the bottom.
that kicks into the joint once that upper part of the finger is mangled.
So is that the
Absolute
right middle
children.
finger?
Yeah.
Right middle, yes.
And is that your dominant hand?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Mr. Depp, after Ms. Heard threw the vodka bottle at you and severed your finger, what, if anything, did she say when she saw the injury?
That's a good question.
I don't recall anything, but just it was almost like white noise, just someone yelling. It was just a
Right.
high-pitched,
Right.
constant
Right.
attack of insults. It was
Right.
just jumbled
Chaos.
words to me in a very high frequency, and I
Sounds about right.
I was in a bit of shock, you know. I was
She
in
is
shock.
not having a good time though.
You mentioned that you reached out to Dr. Kipper. Did you receive medical attention after that?
Yes, Jerry Judge, Malcolm Connolly, I believe Debbie Lloyd was there. Yes, Debbie Lloyd was there. Ben King had arrived as well.
Who is Ben King?
Ben King he's essentially a house, sort of an estate manager, and we worked together in London a few times, and he's a wonderful guy. So I brought Ben along to Australia to manage everything.
Didn't mention the paint thinner. I don't know. It seems like kind of whatever, right? Like, does it matter he put it in paint thinner or forgot at what point he discovered the thing? Like, I don't know.
He's very, very good and very nice. And then there was also, I mentioned Malcolm and Jerry. Yeah, they were there as well.
Which, if any, of the medical professionals that you saw that day did you tell what happened?
Stop. Stop, Jack. Stop.
When Malcolm and Dr. Kipper, when they took me to, first we went to Malcolm's apartment where he was staying while we were shooting the film.
Stupid.
And tried to clean my hand because I had worked the day before, and obviously when you're playing pirate, Captain Jack or whatever, you're covered. They paint with
Because like
alcohol.
the whole paint thinger thing, like he already admitted to drawing with blood, so like he's already admitted the crazier thing. So getting him to be like, oh, but didn't you dip it in paint thinner first? It's like, yeah, okay, sure, yeah, you win, you got that. Like what?
Rubbing alcohol, they paint dirt all into your hands and into your face and everything. So they were worried about getting my finger clean, so they tried doing that at Malcolm's, and then Kipper said, we got to get to emergency room, and we got to get hold of the tip of his finger. So we went to the emergency room. The doctor asked me what happened, and I lied to him. I said that I had smashed it in these large accordion doors, that it got caught in the accordion doors.
Why would you lie about that?
Yeah, don't lie to your doctor.
I lied because I didn't want to disclose that it was what it was. I didn't want to disclose that it had been. I didn't want to disclose that it had been misheard, that it.
Yeah, of course.
Thrown a vodka bottle at me and then took my finger off. I didn't want to get her in trouble. I didn't want to. I tried to.
Okay, I buy that.
Just keep things as copacetic and as easy as possible for everyone. I did not want to put her name in that mix.
No trial today, Roro. Sorry.
Did you tell
Welcome to the stream, though. Next trial will be Monday. We'll probably try to cover that live if possible. Tomorrow, I will be probably going to see the Freedom Convoy that's coming to Montreal. So that might be an IRL stream. It'll be a bit different. But yeah, welcome to the stream.
Dr. Kipper, what had actually happened to your finger?
Yes.
After you returned from the hospital, where did you go?
I went to Malcolm Connolly's apartment and slept on his couch.
Right now,
And to the extent-
we're listening to Johnny Depp's story about how Amber Heard allegedly threw a glass bottle at him that severed his finger.
That you know, where was Miss Heard during this time?
Ms. Heard was. I wasn't there, but I had. It was clear that she needed to leave, and I'd asked them to get her on a flight from Melbourne or Sydney or wherever back to Los Angeles.
Why did you ask for that?
I didn't want to see her. I didn't want to see her. I didn't want to have any more arguments. I was, for all intents and purposes, I was just done.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
Mr. Depp, I'd like to show you a picture. If we could please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit
Crazy
145.
moment to get to. Document check. Let's try to skip through.
I see a detail that I forgot.
Oh, thanks for the follow. Nice.
I see a detail that I forgot.
That's for real?
Just the
Might be too loud of a notification.
Ms. Hurd had taken my cigarette from the ashtray and stomped it out in my face here.
Oh my
Can you mark
god.
on the screen where you see that?
It's right above that green dot.
Stabbed him with a lit
Do
cigarette?
you know who took this picture?
I do not know.
Can we please publish this to the jury?
Do you want me to enter into evidence?
Yes, please.
Any objection? All right, 145 in evidence, you can publish to the jury.
Is identifying. So, Mr. Depp, now that the jury can see the photograph, can you again explain what that green dot is identifying?
Just above the
Anyone would have done the
Just-
same?
above the green dot is a wound from Ms. Hurd taking my cigarette, and this is after the finger had gone away.
Wait, what?
And she stubbed it out in my face, on my cheek.
Holy shit. Wait, was it lit?
So that's the result of that.
If we could please take this down, and I'd like to
That's
show you, Mr.
fucked
Depp,
up.
Plaintiff's Exhibit 144.
Skip ahead.
And was this taken shortly after you were injured?
The remains of my finger.
And was this taken shortly after you were injured?
Yeah, we can't show this. I would show you this picture on stream, but I don't think I can because it shows blood. But basically, you can imagine his finger just like ending in red. Just ending in red, red, red.
I believe this was taken at the emergency room, I'd imagine.
I'd move to this into evidence, but I'd like to also warn the jury and the people in the
All right.
audience that this is a very graphic picture.
All right, any objection?
Yeah, let's see if it comes
All
up.
right, 144.
No, it doesn't. So yeah, we're good. We're good.
We can take this down. Thank you.
The following day, I was sent to they found a surgeon in Australia, so that I could go. They wanted me to take have X-rays taken and all that. So we went to that doctor, the finger surgeon, and he asked me what happened to my finger, and I again lied, and I stuck to the story that it was smashed in a large accordion door, and he looked at me as if I were lying.
Got him. Because there's gonna be glass in it.
The next thing I heard was, "Sir, that is a wound of velocity." And
Your Honor, this is a communication in the context of medical treatment.
I'll sustain the objection. Moving on.
Really? Sustained it.
So, Mr. Depp, this was a surgeon you saw in Australia?
yes,
When did you return to Los Angeles after seeing that surgeon?
Guess speculation.
I believe it was probably the next day, where it might have been Kipper or someone who had hooked me up with a wonderful sort of great expert in reconstruction of hands, fingers, digits, whatever.
A hand doctor.
So I went to see the surgeon, and we prepped for surgery, pretty quickly.
And what type of surgery did you have on your finger?
The majority of this was all missing.
Yikes.
And essentially, to some degree, hollowed out, if you will, because the bone had shattered. And then there was the bone that was sticking out down there.
Ooh.
So he had to do a skin graft from this part of my hand.
Right.
And graft it onto my finger.
Not a good look.
To give me a finger again.
Anything else that was done to your finger to stabilize it?
I don't think it was initially that they put the pin in. I think the pin feels like the pin came
Pin?
later. I'm not sure, but
Like a splint?
you just I had to go after the surgery. It was bandaged up, and they give you all kinds of things on what to do, what not to do. keep it elevated or this or that. And I just walked away with a very large middle finger. It was all wrapped up to like this, and then, you know.
It's like giving everybody the finger all day.
Medicated. They've given me shots in there and such.
How long did you wear that bandage that you just described?
Well, the bandage was from the time of the surgery all the way through the remainder of finishing Pirates of the Caribbean, which was finished.
Wow.
The injury took place in March.
How do you film with that, though?
Finished Pirates of the Caribbean 5, I believe, in August, beginning of August, end of July. So there was a bandage on it the whole time. What I had to do was wear because of there's a special effects trick that they had planned. Basically, whatever bandage I had on, as long as they would put little green dots, for example, on the
wow, and
splint
then like
and the
fix
finger
it
and all
in
that, on the
post.
bandages, so that in post production they could use what's called computer generated imagery, CGI, to erase the bandage and replace it with a normal finger.
Not a good look.
That's how we finished the film.
Wow, that's
If we
interesting.
could please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 61.
So everybody who was on that set would have seen him with that bandage,
And if we could scroll to the second picture. Or
and no one knew what it was from. He's lying to everybody about it.
can you keep going one more, please? Another.
This is quite the
This is a series
story.
of pictures. And to spare everyone, I don't think I'll show you the
Maybe
immediate
it's
injury again. This is right one right here. Thank
maybe
you.
it's just because I don't do celebrity gossip.
Mr. Depp, do you
often.
recognize this picture?
Yes, I do.
And what's reflected in this picture?
This was taken in the surgeon's office,
I don't think we'll get to see it.
where I'd go in occasionally. Well, I had to go in every few days to have it checked out for infections and such. And so the finger and non-finger was wrapped quite heavily, and there was this medicated, kind of greasy medicated thing on top of the wound itself. And this, I believe, seems like when the pin was in here, and the wrapping is, the bandage is, well, I had my choice, and I thought, well, may as well take the kiddie bandages, dinosaurs and hearts and unicorns.
Brilliant.
As I said, at least have some humor to deflect the pain.
Your Honor, I'd like to move Plaintiff's Exhibit 61 into evidence.
Do you want the whole exhibit or just this picture?
To injury.
Yes.
So I think that was it. That was pretty interesting. We're going to wait. The only thing we haven't covered is this fecal matter thing. And there's also the suspicion of an affair, but I'm tanked out. I'm tired. It's been a long stream already. Also just duplicated my voice. Okay. So yeah, that was it. That was the stream. Thanks for coming. Thanks for showing up. Give me a like, follow, subscribe, whatever helps out the channel. And we'll get more and interesting people to come through. So yeah, should be doing an IRL stream tomorrow in the afternoon. So yeah, check that out. Probably around 2 p.m. EST. Yeah. And then we'll be catching up on this trial probably Monday, and I wanted to follow up on Ukraine Sunday. So lots of things happening. I'm here every morning, 7 a.m. Thursday to Sunday at the very least, and some like special streams here and there. But I hope you have a lovely day. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good one. Bye, everybody. See ya. Au revoir. Arrivederci.